I realized that the way they did make their money was through OnlyFans. And that was something that I knew that I didn't want to do for myself. I was expecting to walk into, open arms and people excited to see me, and it wasn't that. But within that first week, something horrible happened to me, and I just was like, there's no way that fucking happened to me right now. Like, I don't know what to do. I wanted to go home, and he was just like, no, like, you're amazing. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, this happened to you. I'm gonna protect you. This will never happen ever again. Like, you're safe with me.
Wait, what did he do?
I don't know. That wasn't who I fell for. He was providing an illusion that he cared for me and that he was a genuine, caring person that, wanted the best for me. And the second I signed to him, the disrespect started showing. This man doesn't fucking care about me. You don't care. The big traumatic things that happened to you, like the major events, made the littlest things he did, like cheating on you and like the signs at the club and stuff like that, so little. When was the beginning of the end? Like, when did everything change? I would say the beginning of the end was at the when we had the fake wedding. That was when everything changed for me. That night was horrible, and it's the irony and the fact that, it was supposed to be this fun fake wedding that you were getting married at the little chapel in Las Vegas, and my parents were coming, and it was something that it was my idea. I was like, we should do that for a stream, like that would be so fun, and he seemed excited about it. But that day was so horrible. I went and I got a last minute wedding dress. I tried on wedding dresses, and he was making jokes and saying like, oh, I wish I could cheat on her, like, the just little jokes and like poking at me. But I knew like that's just Jack. Like that was the normal at this time. Like every horrible comment he said to me, I would just block out. But it was just constant, like just negative comments throughout the entire thing. I ended up going back to the hotel. I'm finishing up getting ready, and he was getting himself a suit, and he calls me and he's like, hey, can you roll me some blunts? I saw Jack smoke every day. That was something actually that he told me that I needed to learn how to do, was roll a blunt. When I didn't add any value to anything, he actually called me the blunt roller. But I felt like, I don't know. I just kind of learned. I taught myself how to roll one, and from that day forward, that's what my job was to roll him an X amount of blunts. So he calls me. We're literally 20 minutes late to the fake wedding. Everyone was there. The limo that was, at the hotel, it was already there. We were late. And we were on a time crunch, and I told him, I was like, listen, I'm in my wedding dress right now. Like, I just put my makeup on. Like, can it wait? And he was so mad. He was like, whatever. Like, I asked for one fucking thing, and you can't even do that. Whatever. And he hung up on me. And I was like, okay, well, whatever. I'm not rolling the blunt. He can wait. And I don't want him to be high during this either. We're taking pictures. It's going to be, like, fun. So I didn't do it. I go downstairs. He was so irritated. He was so mad at me that I didn't roll the blunts. But I was like, he's just gonna have to get over it. It's not that deep. Like he can last a few hours. Like it's gonna be fine. But that whole car ride, he was telling me, I already want a divorce. You're annoying. I've been making, and I would be like, what do you mean you want a divorce? And he was like, I've been making those jokes all day, and it's all of a sudden making you upset. Like, why? You take everything I say seriously. You can't even take a joke. So I stayed silent. I got to a point where I shut down fully, and I wouldn't even like react to what he was saying to me because I can't win. And I realized like, whatever, if he's in this type of mood, like Jack would be in different moods every day, and his mood absolutely, my mood depended on his mood. If Jack was in a good mood, I would be in a good mood. If he was in a bad mood, he would make everyone around him in a bad mood. That's just how he operated. Even with employees, everything. We get to the wedding, and my parents were there. My little brother was there. And they obviously have their opinions on Jack. I try my absolute best to just say, listen, guys, just give him a chance. He's growing. He shows me this complete different side when we're in private that no one sees ever. So I was just like, just please, like, keep my word for it. Like, he's good. He's fine. Again, not super honest with them in the moment. I didn't want them to tell me what I needed to hear. I didn't. Or me. You never. Or you. I never told me. Never did. So we get there, and Jack instantly is just disrespecting my family. He wasn't a fan of my family. Never wanted to get to know them ever. He never gave them a chance. I remember the first day that they met him, he actually didn't even go up to them for over an hour, and we were in the same house. And I was like, is he gonna, introduce himself? Is he gonna say hi? He didn't care. I would try to get him to go to dinner with me and my family, and he refused. He said he was too busy, and that, he didn't, not that he didn't want to get to know them, but he just didn't have the time for it. But I was like, I spend so much time getting to know your family. I spend so much time and energy because that's something that means something to you, is your family. And me doing things is not only because I want to do it because I feel like that's right and like what I should have done, but I'm also hoping that you see that and you see that I'm putting in the effort to meet your family and respect your family. But he never did that with mine, never got to know them. And I also want to insert a clip here at this time of the vows that he wrote in front of my dad. He made my dad stand up center stage, and he read out these disgusting vows in front of my dad, just fully disrespecting him, embarrassed him. My dad was humiliated.
Okay, so Shawty gets absolutely nothing when I divorce her, even if I cheat, okay? If she cheats, she automatically owes me $10 million. After $10 million is paid off, she's limited to making only $3,000 per month, and the rest goes to me. Fair. I'll also receive 100% of her OF revenue moving forward. Even if we divorce, I can still. No talking or dating other guys for 250 years after we divorce. Sounds good, Dad?
I object.
What? That one, you don't want her seeing any other guys.
I object.
Of what?
It's a terrible deal.
Okay, wait, don't let me finish. She will still have to cook, clean, and do my laundry. Do you object to that one?
That's fair.
Yeah, of course, yeah. No contact with parents after argument. But hear me out. No, hear me out. Because then she's gonna want to come back to me more.
Nope.
Bruh, who's this guy?
Like, literally, he actually cried that day. Like, after we left, he was like, that was so humiliating. And I felt horrible. Like, I didn't know Jack was gonna do that. He didn't let me read the vows that he had prepared. And it wasn't some, sweet vow or whatever. It was very disrespectful. We finish up the wedding. My parents say bye to him, and he says on camera, thank God, like, that they're gone, like, talking about my family. And they're the sweetest people ever. Like, that killed me.
I just want to say, your parents, can I say their names?
Yeah.
Brad and Jennifer are the most amazing people I have literally ever met. Like, your dad, hands down, like, anyone that's ever come across Brad will say, like, he's the funniest motherfucker. So incredibly smart. Like,
so smart. Yeah.
Unbelievably smart. Your mom is hilarious. We get along very well. Just really good people. So it takes it's almost like if you have an issue with your parents, like, there's an issue within.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And my parents are very intuitive, and like, they can see right through people. And I think that is why he was uncomfortable around them, because, they did have questions, and they were very involved in my life. And, they tried their absolute best. It made me so sad seeing them visit, because I never went home, but they came to Florida. I would invite them to Florida, and, we would have Thanksgiving and Christmas, and they would be there because I never felt like I could leave. But I could see the effort that they were putting in just because they loved me. And I knew they didn't like him. They didn't think he was good for me, but they tried so, so hard, and they bit their tongue.
They didn't want to lose you.
They didn't. So anyways, the fake wedding ends. We end up back at the hotel. And we're in the room, and everyone was eating downstairs. I had not eaten that day. I was starving. I was still in my wedding dress, and everyone was like, okay, well, we'll be down here at the restaurant. Meet us down here. I'll order you food. Jack wasn't hungry, of course. He was, he took Adderall that day and every day, but that was something, he never got hungry. So my eating schedule and like just eating food in general, being with him, I wouldn't even eat. So I was starving this day. I told him, I was like, hey, I think I'm going to go downstairs and, my food's there. They're waiting for me, like all of our friends. He was like, can you roll me a blunt real quick? And I was like, Jack, I'm starving. Like, please. He's fully capable of doing this, by the way. Like he's able to do it as well. I was like, I'm just like, I don't want to do that right now. My head hurts. I'm starving. My food is down there. They're waiting for me. They already ate all their food. They're actually sitting at a table with my plate. I just wanted to get downstairs. And he was like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. You go down there. I don't give a fuck. Whatever. You do what you want to do. You're lazy as fuck. You're useless. You do nothing to help me in life. Go fuck yourself. And I was like, Jack, like, okay, I'll roll you one. Like, I'll do it. Like, I'll do it right now. And he's like, no, whatever. Just fuck off. Go. He's like, I don't give a fuck. So I was like, okay. I sat there. I was waiting for him to finish because I was just like, okay, I'll wait for him because he's clearly upset at me going down there without him. He rolls it. We get into the elevator. And as we're in the elevator, he looks at me and he's like, see, this is why I would never marry you. And my heart broke. I was like, well, I would never marry you if you just said that. Because why would I marry someone that says, I would never marry you? I was like, I would never marry somebody.
You don't need to justify why you said that.
Yeah. In that moment, I was like, well, I don't either. I don't want to marry you either.
I'm surprised you didn't look at him and say, fuck you, I wouldn't marry your ass either.
I should have, yeah.
You don't need to sit here and explain, like, well, I said that to him because he said that. I know, babe.
Yeah.
I know. And you had every single right to say that.
Yeah. Well, that made him extremely upset. He was mad. He was so furious at me for saying that. I had never seen him that mad in my life.
What do you mean?
We were in the elevator. I said that. And then I walked out of the elevator to get to the restaurant and he closed the doors and like went back up to the room. And I was like, there's no way he's like actually mad at me for saying exactly what he had just said to me. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. I texted him and we were texting. Should I read it?
Yeah, you can read it.
This is November 15th. This was the day that all this happened. This is as soon as I got out of the elevator and I sat down. Mind you, I was just in this restaurant with a wedding dress on. People were looking at me and saying congratulations. We were like laughing about it because everyone thought it was real. And now I'm sitting out of my wedding dress by myself at a dinner table crying. And people that just had saw me in a wedding dress are like looking at me like, is this real? Like, what's going on? But I was sitting by myself. I ordered food for myself. And I texted him. I said, maybe you're just frustrated today, but the way you've been talking to me makes me feel awful. I've been nothing but positive today, but again, it's turned around on me for only reacting to the way you speak to me. I'm sitting by myself in this restaurant almost in tears. He goes, I don't even know what to say. I'm just so tired of this shit. I said, Jack, what did I do though? He said, you're always just in a bad mood and it affects me. I said, no, I'm not. In what ways? He goes, I could ask you to roll a blunt and your whole mood changes for 30 minutes or it has to turn into a fight. You don't do anything to make my life easier. I said, wow, all right, Jack. He says, I have to beg or just not ask so it doesn't cause a fight. I said, you don't though. You asked me if I could grind up weed and I said I already did because it was all we had. He said, not even about that, just giving an example. I said, I wasn't even mad when I said I was going to go downstairs and eat my food. And he said, even on the TikToks we were filming, you were crashing out with me over nothing and the casino night. Mind you, I don't know what he means by crash out. I'd never have crashed out on him, and I don't know.
I don't even know if you have the capability to. Do you crash out?
I don't. And crashing out on his head was me crying. That was me crashing out.
Oh, he would hate to see my crash out.
Right. I said, I didn't crash out though, Jack. What do you mean? He said, I'm just constantly trying to figure out ways to keep you happy. He said, bruh, your whole mood flipped before we could even sit down. He said, fuck these stupid texts. Come up and talk. This is getting nowhere. I said, I'm waiting for my food. I just wish you would come downstairs. He said, nah, you said you wouldn't marry me, so why would I be with you? I said, Jack, you literally said this is why I don't want to get married, and I matched your energy. I agree. Why would I marry someone that says that to me? It's always in retaliation to something you say to me. I want to marry you. That's all I've ever wanted. I want to be with you and only you. He didn't answer that. So I finish eating. I go upstairs, and as soon as I open the door, I make eye contact with Jack, and he's just like, I'm so sick of you. Like, I'm genuinely so sick and tired of this shit. Like, I was almost, apologizing to him because I was like, this is it. Like, he's breaking up with me right now. I don't know what I did or like what happened, but he was basically saying, you make my life so much harder. I can't believe you would say that you wouldn't marry me. And I was like, Jack, I can't understand why you're mad at me for this when you said it to me. I don't know what else I would have said. Do you want me to just be like, okay? Like, I don't know what the perfect response was to you saying that to me. He was like, I was obviously kidding. And I was like, but you said it though, and you weren't kidding. He made me constantly question my own reality. Like, what I faced and the things that he would do never happened. And I felt like I was going insane. I was like, I would never have said that to you if you didn't say that to me. Like, I'm just trying to defend myself.
There's a perfect word to describe this person, but I am not certified to diagnose this guy. So those types of people will always flip the script and make you feel insane.
Yeah.
That is exactly, it just seems like that's exactly what he was doing. Like, anything he said to you was followed by just kidding. So just in case you retaliated, it was, holy shit, you're fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like, you're a crazy ass bitch. And I was just kidding.
That's what was always
I literally think we need to right now add in a compilation of every time he has said just kidding. He says the most vile shit, and we'll go, just kidding, just kidding.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. 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 Sorry, guys, sorry. I'm kidding, bro. You're so hot. Sorry. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, bro. No, I'm kidding. Shut up. I'm kidding, bro. I just don't want her talking. No, I'm kidding. Shawty, fuck your friend. She a hoe. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, you don't care. No, I'm kidding. I was joking. That was such a fucking joke. Come on, I never know when to stop.
That is him. He says his truth and how he feels, and then he says, I'm kidding, though. And then when you get mad and retaliate, he's like, you can't take a joke. What's wrong with you? You can't take a joke? And I'm like, there's one, it's not a joke.
Where's the punchline?
Where's the punchline of you calling me a whore?
What's the laughable part?
Yeah.
Where's the ha ha ha?
Right. No, I truly, to this day, I don't know.
I'm so sorry. So continue.
But that night, when I was back in the hotel room, he changed his entire persona. I don't know what happened and what the flip was and what made him act that way, but he was screaming at me, bloody murder. Like, when I tell you his face was red, neck veins bulging out of his fucking neck, telling me—
You've never seen this before?
Never before, never. And mind you, like, this is the same person that would be like, I can't even imagine yelling at you. I can't imagine having any issues with you and fighting with you or anything. So, as he's saying these things to me, the most degrading and most disgusting, vile things you could possibly say to someone, especially your girlfriend, I was just taking everything. I wasn't even retaliating or saying anything back. He was just going and calling me all types of names, like a whore, and saying he should have never given me a chance because I've ruined his life. I apparently ruined the relationship between you and him. I ruined the relationship between him and the other girls. He only cares about me, and him prioritizing me has ruined his life, and I'm useless and I'm lazy. And he should have never given me a chance because I'm so much of a whore. Like, that is what he was telling me. And I'm still trying to figure out what I did, what happened, and why did you react this way? Like, what did I do? So I'm so confused. I'm bawling my eyes out crying. And I was sitting on the edge of the bed. He would do this thing where he would get so mad and then he would run out the door, say, I'm gonna go fuck some bad bitches, like, fuck you. And then he would slam the door, walk out. And I would just be bawling my eyes out, crying, like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to talk to him. Everything I'm saying, he interrupts me. He yells over me. I couldn't even get 2 words in. I'm I was just so confused. He walks back in, and at this point, I'm not speaking whatsoever. I've realized, everything I have said has actually snowballed and it's made everything worse. So like when I would have a rebuttal or like a, defending myself, he would create this other, I guess, narrative is in his head and fully twist what I said and fight with me over that. So I was like, I'm just creating issues at this point with what I'm saying, so I'm gonna zip it and just be quiet. So I'm sitting on the bed, he walks back in, he's yelling at me again. But then he starts to calm down a little bit once he realizes I'm not really talking. And I was just kind of just sitting there. He was like, why aren't you talking? And then
What?
I know.
Wait, what?
I know. I don't know.
Why are you talking?
Yeah. Why aren't you talking? And I was like, there's no point, Jack. There's no point. And then that's when he started yelling again. He started yelling and yelling. So I shut up again. I was silent. And I don't know what was said. I can't really remember super well, but I remember him coming up to my face, sticking his finger in my face this close and saying, you fucking stupid fucking whore. And I looked at him and I was like, we're done. Like, I'm done. And I got up, I started walking, and that's when he put his hands on me. For the first time ever, it had escalated not only to emotional and mental abuse that he's put me through. He was grabbing onto me, not letting me leave the room. He grabbed me by my arms. He sat me down on the bed, made me sit on his lap. I was trying to get away from him. I was like, get away from me. Like, you just said this to me, and now you're saying, baby, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? I'm like, you change like this. It's scary. It was scary as fuck. And there's a certain like look in his eyes. I'll never forget it. And when he would get this angry, because not only this night was the start of it, and then it continued, and then it got worse. But I could see the shift. And I don't know what the shift was. I don't know what made him act that way. It was nothing like I had ever seen before, and for sure not the guy I fell in love with. He was gone. So when he realized that, I was like, I'm done. Like, I don't think you realize I'm done with you. Like, I'm breaking up with you. If this is what you want and this is how you're treating me, I'm done with you. And that's when we get a knock on our door. We were like, who is this? We opened the door. It was security. Someone had called security because I was yelling, get off of me. Let me go. They could hear us screaming and, me yelling and Jack yelling at me. And they came in, they instantly separated us, and he was really, really scared of that. He didn't want us to be separated. He was like, get the fuck out of my room. He was disrespecting the workers there. He was disrespecting the security guards. And, I tried to get the body cam footage because they were wearing, body cams, and they end up separating us. I wasn't able to get the body cam footage, sadly. There's a lot of things that go into, casinos, and you're not able to just get those things easily, but that was something I was trying to get, for my safety. I remember, I'll never forget the conversation I had with the female security guard after they had separated us, and she was like, listen, I've seen you guys on social media. I know who you are. And she looked at me and she's like, it's not worth it. She's like, it's not. She's like, no matter what, it's not worth it. And she was like, are you okay? And then I just remember crying. Like, I couldn't even make eye contact with her. And I was like, yeah, like, I'm fine. I'm good. Like, everything's fine. And she was like, be honest with me. Like, do you feel safe? And that's when Jack barged in, and he was like, get the fuck out of my room. I'm done. Get the fuck out of here. McKinley, we're leaving. And he grabbed me, and he pulled me out of the room. They were still in our room. And, they're looking at me. They're like confused about the situation because they see how he's acting, and then they see me, and I'm just like in tears. I'm trying my best to like keep composure. At that moment, I didn't want to say anything about my boyfriend. I didn't want to say that he had put his hands on me that night. I didn't want to get him in trouble. It was the first time he had done something like that to me, and it was so...
You were still trying to process it.
I was still trying to process it. So, throughout all of this, I ended up calling my parents while he was screaming at me before the security had came in, and my parents were aware of what was going on. I really did call them, because once I called them and he knew that I had my parents on the phone, he stopped, and he stopped yelling at me, and he was, I felt like it was my way of, being safe, and he wouldn't do anything crazy. So I'm on the phone with them, and they're like, we're coming to get you right now. So I start packing my stuff. He's trying to talk to me. He's getting agitated again as I'm packing my things. I'm like, I just need time away. Like, I need to go. I need to go stay with my family. We need separation. I don't want to be here tonight. You really fucking hurt me. Like, this was unlike anything that I ever wanted our relationship to be like. I was so upset and hurt by it. And, I walked outside. He walked with me. He was like, I don't want you to leave. I love you. I love you so much. Like, he was showing me that he loved me and cared about me, kissing me on the face and being like, McKinley, like, I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me. It's the Adderall. Like, I crashed out. It's my, I took it all day. I've had a stressful day. I just want people to help me. Like, you have no idea how stressed I am. I have to take care of all these people, and then I have to make sure you're okay. And I'm like, Jack, like, I don't know what to say to you. I just remember saying, I don't know what to say. Like, I truly don't. And I just kept, shaking my head. I was crying. I didn't say any words. He was just kind of spewing how he felt and how apologetic he was. He was so sorry. He'll never do that to me ever again. He didn't know what came over him. So my parents picked me up. I spent the night over there, and I didn't talk to him that entire night. I have the texts as well. So as soon as I left, he texted me and said, you have my ID and my player's card, because he wanted to go gamble. He said, I need to get the money I just won. I didn't answer, and he said, I love you, and I'm sorry. Then he said, can you come back, please? I miss you, and I'm sad. Can you let me know if you have my betting slip in your purse, please? I need to know ASAP, so the maids know if they went through it or not. It's like he completely forgot about what had just happened. You're asking me to check for something of yours in my purse. Like, I didn't answer any of that. He said, why aren't you answering me at all? McKinley, I'm going back to the hotel. Can you please come? I still didn't answer. The next day, this is at 5:14 a.m., he texted me and he said, I can't believe you can't just answer me. Like, why you got to do this? I know you're reading all these, and it breaks my heart that my own girlfriend can't text me back. Like, how do you expect me to sleep when you've just been ignoring me since you left? And then he said, hello. And then he sent me this picture of us at our wedding, fake wedding. And then I texted him. I said, last night drained so much of my energy, and I know I distanced myself, but I really just needed time. I really just wish you were more patient with me. I always, no matter what anyone says, have the purest and best intentions. I just clearly never showed that in your eyes. I've always showed up for you. I've put my feelings aside constantly. I've loved you when you're down, make sure you're always taken care of. And I'm told that I actually apparently did way more damage than good and ruined your life, even though I know I've always showed up for you, Jack. Not because of anything else other than the fact that I fell in love with you for a reason, beyond what you think. He said, please just come back. I'm so sad and I miss you so much, and I don't want to do anything until we talk. I said, those words can't be covered up with a Band-Aid. My heart is in pieces. He said, I'm sorry, McKinley. I love you more than anything on the planet, and I don't stop thinking about you. I'm sorry for what I said. I didn't mean any of it. I love you so much, and you know that, McKinley. And then I said, I'll be there soon. I ended up going back to get my stuff and pack up my stuff. My parents were wanting me to break up with him in this moment. They were like, you need to leave the situation. Absolutely not. It's going to get worse. Like, you just need to stay. But I was not ready. I truly, like, in that moment, I should have been. But, like, even this, him texting me, like, I need you. Like, you're my world. Like, those texts and, like, being told that, even though it came after something so horrible, I had never heard those words from him. He had never said those things to me. So I went back. I decided to stay in the hotel room. And then that day, the day after, it was November 16th, he had, like, I guess a stream planned with somebody, and he needed to leave. So I was at the hotel by myself, and He was drinking, and we hadn't even had a conversation about what had happened. I didn't even see him. He was already gone before I came to the hotel. So I was like holding on to hope and there for somebody that begged me to come back. And then when I came back, he wasn't even there. He had to, stream and like do other things. So I was sitting in the hotel room thinking about everything, and I was just crying. Like, I'm like thinking, I don't want this for myself. I know what I deserve. I know that the man that I want in my life, I know the type of soul that I want, and it's not him. It's not anybody that would say those types of things and do those types of things. So I texted him after waiting the entire day. I was there from, I would say, let me look. I was there, I think I got there at like 4 p.m. and this is at 10 p.m. and he's drinking and he's on the casino floor drunk. He FaceTimed me randomly without talking to me about what had happened. He just FaceTimes me like nothing's wrong. He's drunk on the casino floor. I texted him. I said, I'm packing up my stuff now. Have fun. I'm going home. He goes, no, why can't you answer my calls? You make me so sad. And I said, you make me so sad. He said, I don't want to make you sad. I want to make you happy. Please don't leave. I'm so sad I lost you and I just lost 10K. Please love me. I said, you are totally fine. Then he said, can you answer, please? I'm not live. I just love you. I'm by myself. I said, Jack, you're drunk on the casino floor. He said, please answer me. I'm by myself. I end up calling him. He's not by himself. He lied to me. And then Bryce, he was with Bryce Hall. Bryce was like, are you still mad at him? So he had literally been talking about how I was upset with him over something he caused, created, and he was making jokes about. He was making jokes about how we got a divorce the day we got married, and people knew we were fighting. So I was like, that's so crazy. I'm struggling so much. Why don't you see it? You don't love me. I said, you always say you wish I was the girl you met in the beginning, and what you fail to realize is that you created how I am from that point forward. There's not a single thing I have changed about myself other than constantly begging for respect and love from you, which is the bare minimum from any relationship. You disrespect me constantly. You disrespect my family. You disrespect my opinions. You disrespect my time and my feelings. How am I supposed to feel the love you claim to have and feel for me while you do those things? You are so right. I don't want to argue anymore. There is absolutely nothing I can do to be better in your eyes. And what I can't get over is even though I gave you 99.9% and left myself with nothing, you never saw it. I wanted to see if you could prove something to me today. And sadly, I'm just disappointed again, and I'm not fighting with you. I never want to, and you knew that for me in the beginning. I sat here by myself for hours and hours holding on to hope I just don't feel like is even there. My 100% might not be your 100%. You have to understand that no matter how much money you have or views you get or other things you want in your life that I apparently failed to give you, my 100% was so genuine and so innocent. Imagine how you would feel in my shoes for a second. Imagine doing all of that for someone who can't even see it. That's all I gotta say at this point. I'm not fighting for anything anymore, and I have accepted everything moving forward. I finally got it and understood like how you always wanted me to. Please be safe. I left your betting slip on the table. Hope you're having fun. He goes, McKinley, no, I love you so much. Please stop. I love you more than anything. I'm coming back right now. I'm not having fun. So I ended up staying. He came back, and I had never seen this side of Jack before. And this was the night I fell in love with him all over again. It was a new side of Jack that I had never seen before. It was everything I needed, the validation. He was in tears, sobbing uncontrollably. And by this time, I had never seen him cry. That's something I don't crave out of him. I don't need you to cry for you to care about me. But he was crying at the fact of the possibility of losing me. He was like, I don't think you realize like what I've realized these past 24 hours of not hearing from you and not being there is that you matter. Nothing matters. Nothing in this world matters. Money, views, nothing. I need you in my life. I would myself if I lost you. He told me that. And I was just like, wow, like, I mean, we just have to come to an agreement. Like, you can't speak to me and say these things and do these things and be extremely disrespectful and me just, let it happen. Like, I want you to respect me. And that was something we agreed on. And that night we ended up having, makeup sex. And it wasn't really something I wanted necessarily in the moment, but I felt seen for the first time in so long. Like that was something, you know, with him confessing how he had felt, and like, you know, him saying, you know, I'm not upfront and honest about how I feel about things, but like, I want you to know I love you so much. You're my wife. I want to have kids with you. I want to one day go on vacations and have our little family. Like, he was saying things that I had never heard before out of his mouth. So I was like, this guy is going to change. He's not going to want to lose me again. So my parents were obviously very disappointed. They were even saying, you know, there's only so much I can do as a parent. And you obviously, you know, anything we say to you, you're not going to, you know, break up with him on our terms, but, you know, we'll be there for you, but we are not going to be a part of his life. And they're like, and take it how it is. Like, if you want to, you know, have him around you, that's fine, but we're done trying to involve ourselves in a relationship that we don't want. We're not. So, you know, at that time, I wasn't fighting with them, but I was almost like, I was mad at them. I didn't want to talk to them. I was like, you know what? Like, you don't know my relationship. He manipulated me so much that I even told my parents that they're crazy. Even though I know now, looking back on it, like, they weren't, obviously. But when you're in that situation, you know, I was really upset with them. And I was like, I just can't understand why you can't just be there for me. Like, it's good now. It's good now. We're having a good week. They're like, well, you shouldn't have just good weeks. But we ended up going back to Florida after Vegas. And he's making jokes about the fight, and he's doing what he usually does when we get into these like little arguments. And there's many clips of him talking about how that night he crashed out on me. And, you know, I've never said my side, and nobody knows what happened that night until now, which, like, you know, that has been something that I've been wanting to talk about. And what really changed our relationship was that night. So being able to talk about it and let you guys know, like, him saying that he crashed out on me, he absolutely did. He was horrible to me, and he made it a joking matter that entire month after. And I would be obviously very, very upset when he would bring this up, because I was like, you're playing with me. Like, I broke up with you. I didn't talk to you for like a little bit, and then I went back to you because you said you were going to change and all this stuff, and now you're joking about it. Like, it was really serious for me. It might not be serious to you, but it's serious. So I would check him. I started changing the way I was taking the disrespect, and I started talking back. I would say, why would you say that? If he called me a whore randomly, just because he would have random spurts and say stupid slut, stupid whore, stupid bitch, I would be like, why would you say that? And then once I started doing that, he started becoming more and more angry. So these little bickers that we would have turned into huge things, because I would just stand up for myself, and I would be like, don't call me that. And he'd be like, you can't take a joke. You can't take a joke. And I'd be like, Jack, it's not a joke. Like, I don't know what you calling me a whore, like, I don't know how that's a joke. So, you know, the fighting continues. It's even over just like little random things. He's constantly telling me how useless I am, how lazy I am. I also want to say that he didn't let me sleep. That was something that I think he did on purpose. He, every time I would try to go to sleep, he would wake me up and, you know, be streaming and playing music so loud. Like, I wouldn't go to bed until 3 a.m. And then he would expect me to wake up the next morning and work and film videos until the nighttime. And I tried so hard to get sleep, and I couldn't. So I would sleep in sometimes, and then that's when he started to get more angry about how lazy and useless and replaceable I am. And hearing these things hurt, especially, you know, after what I had said about what had hurt me at the win, and him saying those things about me, he started saying those things continuously every single day. So people in the house started to trickle out. I think what really changed his behavior, even to a different level, was when people moved out, and when I didn't have Michelle. I didn't have, you know, the girl to go to, like, down the hallway and, you know, cry a little bit. I cried every day. Every day I lived there, I cried in the shower. It was my one time to just let everything out, and that was so insane. It's so insane to think back on, because like I don't cry like that anymore, but like even though like I would wake up and nothing could happen that day, but I would just let it all out in the shower, because I couldn't cry in front of him, I couldn't cry in front of anybody, but I would just cry. And when I didn't have her and I was just around him and his security guards and his cameraman, I felt even more alone in the whole thing. But I think like another thing I want to point out is, the major question I feel like I'm asked, and I asked myself, and I'm working on this in therapy, is why did I stay? And like I think that's such an easy question to ask, right? But I think what people don't understand, and if you haven't been through an abusive relationship, is it's a cycle. Abuse isn't just, you wake up and they treat you like shit every single day and it's constant and just treating you like shit. It can be like that, but it's like abuse is a cycle. You have, the problem, what happens, the abuse, and then it's followed up with the affection and the promises and the I'm sorry's, and you really truly think they're going to change.
You get a glimpse of who you fell in love with.
You do. And then you have, the phases, like the honeymoon phases. And then you're like, wow, like we had a really bad week last week, but we're having an amazing week, like a better week than we've ever had this week. So it almost keeps you hooked into hope. And you're in hope that he's actually changing and that the boundaries that you've set, like that he's becoming a better person. But then you also have to deal with, the emotional manipulation of things and the gaslighting and how master manipulative, it is, when they gaslight people and you question your own reality. And, he made me feel like if I ever broke up with him, I was betraying him. And I think that's why I stayed for so long, was because it wasn't just a normal relationship. It wasn't just a boyfriend and girlfriend type of thing. It was business, it was friendships, it was my house, I was living across the country, it was so many factors, and then just him isolating me as well. Like I didn't have the people that cared about me in the beginning like how I did now. Like my parents were there to support me, but I truly was isolating myself, and I felt like that was also a plan to make me feel like I had no strength, I had no value, I had no support to leave. He was my support, and he was the person, my favorite person that I can't imagine life without, is ruining my life. I had never felt like that. The person that
I give you everything could take it all away.
Absolutely. But what I've realized through all of this, and I'm still healing and I'm still working on it, is if that's something you're dealing with right now, abuse and an abusive situation, you're not weak for fucking staying. You're not weak at all. It just goes to show how abusers structure everything to keep you trapped. It's a structured thing. And I don't want anybody at all to go through that. If that's something you're dealing with and you see the signs, when you distance yourself, it was so confusing for me. It was so confusing for me in that moment. And I was like, and I asked myself, even after I broke up with him, why did I stay? When you distance yourself and you see it for how it is, it's clear as fucking day. Yeah. And the minute you distance yourself, and the minute that they don't have that control over you, they don't love you. They love the control. And once they lose that and you see it for how it is, that's what they're terrified of. And that's what I did, and that's how I see it now. Back then, and when I was dealing with it, I stayed because I was confused. I couldn't understand it. But now that I'm away and I've reflected on it,
I think it's because too, like, as someone who I've personally gone through a similar, not anything like that, but like a different abusive situation, like it's so easy because to blame myself.
Right.
Because it's like, I know I'm very smart, I'm intuitive, I'm very well spoken, and I pride myself on my strengths, and my parents raised me to be such an independent woman, so I beat the shit out of myself for being like, how could I be in this situation?
Yeah.
How could I let someone, how did I not see it? Why was I so stupid? Like, what? But I think what people fail to realize, it's not, you can't be mad at yourself for letting your guard down and being just genuinely falling in love with the process of what that looks like. And there's like, you're not dumb. you're not stupid. Nothing's wrong with you. Like, women naturally are nurturers. We're caretakers, and all we want to do is, some women literally in a relationship just want to please, the people around them. And I think that that's exactly what you were doing, and it's not a self-reflection of who you are. It does not define you, why you stayed.
Right.
And I think a lot of women go through that.
I mean, it was me. I was in that situation too. I beat myself up. I was like, I'm not that dumb. I don't know what happened and how it became that, but like how we're both saying, I think it's not a sign of weakness. You're not dumb. I'm still figuring it out to this day. I'm still figuring it out. So I think, I was holding on to something that didn't exist. But I don't know, I'm almost thankful that everything happened, because I wouldn't have this much wisdom. I wouldn't know, like, now I can see, the slight and little things that people can do to gain the control over you. And like, now knowing that and like navigating that, like, I'm so glad I know that now. But you're not alone if this is something, it could be a guy doing it or it could be a girl doing it. Abuse it's not,
there's no gender.
There's no gender. And anyone that treats you that way and does that to you, they don't love you. They don't love you. No one would do that to you if they genuinely loved you. So, but it got worse. It got worse. So we came back and everyone was kind of, everyone had left and gone their own places. It was me, Jack, his security guard. He had 2 security guards, and his cameraman, and his girlfriend. Christmas time, it's happening. We're filming a bunch of videos. I'm starting to feel not right. I felt like something was wrong with, me physically. I was
health-wise?
Health-wise, yes. I was very, very tired. I was just, my head was hurting. I felt irritated. I felt something was off with me. I knew it. I knew something was off. And I actually have health problems. I have hyperthyroidism and Graves' disease, which is an autoimmune disorder, and it affects my metabolism. I had to go through radioactive iodine treatment when I was younger, so I don't have a thyroid gland, so I take medication to mimic that thyroid gland. It's something that I need in order to survive. And throughout this entire thing, I never went to the doctor. I didn't take my medicine. I replaced that medicine with Adderall, and I was so unhealthy. I look back at pictures and I'm just like, wow, like, you can see it in my face. Like, it makes your face really puffy. It also does something to your eyes. I remember my eyes were just very like swollen, it looked like. Obviously at the time I didn't notice anything was wrong with me, but my parents did notice it. They were like, I really hope you're taking care of yourself. You need to go to the doctor. But anyways, I felt like something was wrong, and I had never taken a pregnancy test ever in my life. And for some reason, this one night I ordered one. I ordered the pregnancy test. I took it, and I set it aside. I'm like, you know what? I don't think this is why I feel this way. I'm really hoping it's not. I wasn't expecting anything, and it was positive. And in that moment, I realized, like, wow, like, not only, I wasn't preparing myself for this, but with where we're at in our relationship and how I feel and like how he treats me, like, that's all that came to my mind. It was no happy thought at all. But I was terrified, and I had another pregnancy test, and I was like, surely to goodness it was a false one. Like, let me take another one. I took another one, and instantly positive. I was like, wow, like, it's real. Like, this is real. My life is over. Like, that's all I was thinking. I was like, my life is done. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. My parents are going to kill me. I even felt bad for, even just the fact that I had that, and I'm, actively taking Adderall. I was actively drinking. I was like, I had no idea. I go downstairs and Jack is outside, and I was like, Jack, I need to talk to you. And I told him, and he didn't seem surprised whatsoever. He was like, W. He literally was excited over the fact that we were going to make the most money we have ever made in our lives. It wasn't because he was excited to have a baby with me and have a family and start a new era of our life. It was, oh my gosh, we're going to start a family YouTube channel, and you're going to make so much money when you're pregnant and you have a pregnant belly. And I remember looking at him and I was like, Jack, you do not realize if this is happening, I'm done. I'm not doing OnlyFans. I'm not doing that. And I don't want to be on social media, and we need to change our lives. Like, here we are, we're living in this house. There's drugs. There's random people coming into our house all the time. It's not safe. What he does for a living, like, he streams, he's always in chaos. I was like, there needs to be some sort of lifestyle change. Like, I don't know if you're ready for that. And he was like, it doesn't have to be a lifestyle change. Like, people have babies when they're broke. Like, we're good. Like, we're going to make so much more money when we have a baby. So, he's excited about it. I'm still terrified, but in this moment, I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to have it. Like, there's really nothing I can do about it. He seems excited, so I was like, well, maybe I'll see a different side of him and he'll step up. And, like, this will be the time I actually see Jack become a man and, like, respect me, and maybe this is the answer. The day after, he ends up going to the club, and he was, making jokes about how he wanted to cheat on me, and now that I'm pregnant and can't do anything, that this is his time to get another bitch pregnant. That way he can keep me and keep her and just have me be there, because no one would fuck with me if I had Jack Doherty's baby. That's what he would say to me. So while he's saying these things to me, and I'm already, going through how I feel about the situation already, I'm like, this is a horrible situation to be in. He's trapping me. He's literally to my face telling me that as soon as I have a baby, he's going to move on from me and try to have a baby with somebody else, and I'm just there. So again, I don't want to believe this. I know he's making these jokes, but there's truth to all of his jokes. He ends up going to the club, and I went with him. I obviously wasn't drinking. I wasn't doing anything. But all of my friends were drinking. All of my friends were. And they were like, McKinley, you're going to take a shot? And I was just like, no, I'm not drinking tonight. And that was like, I couldn't tell them in the moment. I didn't want to tell anybody. We get into the car, and as soon as we get into the car, he sparks up a blunt. And I'm sitting right next to him, and he's blowing smoke into my face, like weed smoke. And I looked at him, and I couldn't say anything in a car full of people, but I looked at him, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, here I am, your pregnant girlfriend, and you think it's funny to blow smoke into my face. So I was already upset at that. We end up getting to the club. I almost passed out. I was overheated. I was like, I should not be here. I need to go home. He's flirting with girls in front of me. He's, making the jokes he does on stream, degrading me, making fun of me, talking about how all these girls are bad and this girl has a fat ass and all these things. So I told him, I was like, I'm leaving. And this is actually on camera as well. I remember telling him, I was like, this isn't right. Like, the fact that you're here right now, like, it shouldn't happen. I was really disappointed. So I get in an Uber. He stays at the club. I Uber by myself back home, and I was just bawling my eyes out the entire time. I was like, wow, like, this is gonna be my life. I'm gonna have to stay home and take care of our child, and he's just gonna continue to disrespect me and not be a good father. Like, I knew that he wasn't ready for that. I knew that you know, it wouldn't be a good situation if I'm dealing with all this stuff and like how I feel. I couldn't imagine bringing a child into the mix. And I knew, you know, the only thing he cared about was money and content. And I knew if we had a child, it would be the same exact thing. I knew that that child would be exploited. I knew that it would be around things that I wouldn't want my child to be around. It just didn't line up. So I walk into the house, and as soon as I open the door, I break down sobbing. I'm hyperventilating, crying, and I walk up the stairs, and I realized I saw, I didn't know anyone was home at the time, but I saw his close friend. He was like, "What's wrong? What is wrong? Like, are you okay?" And I was like, "No, not at all." And he was like, "What's wrong? Like, talk to me." I was like, "I can't." I was like, I can't even say it. And I go into my room, I'm crying, and then he knocks on the door, and I walk out to where he was sitting at the table, and he was like, I just want to talk, like, you can talk to me, like, it's okay. I was like, "I'm pregnant. I don't know what to do." And his mouth dropped, and he was like, "McKinley." He's like, "No." He's like, "You can't." He was like, there's no, like, you don't deserve this. His own friend was saying, you know, like, he's not ready to be a father. He treats me like shit. He's like, "Do you think he's going to respect your child?" And I was like, "No, like, not at all. Like, that's what I'm dealing with. I'm struggling with that so much." And I knew my health issues, and like, it wasn't right for me to, you know, have a child, and it wouldn't have been healthy. I didn't take my medication that I needed to survive for over a year. I didn't think my body could handle it. I was already feeling like shit. I was nauseous, throwing up. So Jack comes home. I'm talking to him. I'm just like, "Listen, like, I need to go to the doctor. I need to figure out if, you know, this baby is healthy. I need to figure out if I'm healthy. We need to actually talk about a plan, because we need a plan. Like, it's not just, oh, I'm going to have this baby and then we're just going to see how it goes." Like, it's like that child is like, your 100% is for their entire life. Like, you have to take them to school. You have to make sure they're fed. You have to make sure they're taken care of. It's an entire job. So when I'm a mother, I always knew when I'm a mom, like, my job is to be a mom. Like, I want to be a mother. And he knew that about me too. I always said, like, I want a family that have Christmas and Thanksgiving and like a healthy family dynamic, because that's what I was raised with. I loved how me and my family had so much fun during holidays, and I always craved that and wanted that. So I tell him, I'm like, I need to go to the doctor and figure this out. And he's like, "I don't know what you have to figure out, but like, I guess you just don't want to be with me. Like, I guess you just like don't love me enough to have a baby." And I was like, "It's not that at all, Jack." I was like, I just want you to change. We've had these conversations and nothing is changing, and it's actually getting worse, and I feel like shit. I don't feel healthy. He was just upset at me, and, you know, he would bitch me out, especially when we would have the conversations about, you know, a plan and like him, you know, stepping up to the plate. He felt like that was, I guess, disrespectful, but it was a normal conversation to have with someone that I'm about to have a child with. So I end up telling my parents. They were like, "Please come home. We need to go to the doctor." I told him that I was going home and I would really love for him to come with me, but he ended up booking a trip to Utah and skiing and, you know, planning that trip with you and you guys. And the saddest part is that nobody knew what was going on.
I do want to say, like,
Yeah.
absolutely not a single clue. In fact, like, when me and Owen got to Utah, we just, obviously I was like, "Where's McKinley?" Like, me and Julia, everyone we were with, I was like, "Where the fuck is McKinley?" And I think he told me, he was like, "She's going through some family stuff right now. Like, she's back in Vegas. I'm going to go see her after this trip." And so I thought about texting. I don't know if I think I did text you, and I was like, "Hey."
You did.
I hope you're okay. I love you and I miss you. I want to see you. And I think your response was like, "I love you too. I miss you." But I had no idea.
Yeah, and nobody did, and he made it look like he wasn't going through anything, and that was such a crazy time in our lives. I was just like, how can he even think of going to go ski and getting upset at me for not wanting to ski right now? Like he was like, you don't want to ski? Like you don't want to, go have fun? I'm like, Jack, no. Like I just found this out. I'm still figuring everything out. I don't feel good. So I end up going by myself. Jack goes to Utah, and he wasn't going to come to Vegas at all until, I came to terms with the fact that it wasn't right to have the child. And that's something I live with to this day. It's I don't want anyone to go through that. It was horrible.
I know you didn't.
But like, I never in a million years would have like thought I would be in that situation. But it's like, I felt like I was almost saving a life. I can't imagine that poor baby's life. And like, I don't know, it's so uncomfortable for me because I never wanted that to happen, ever. And I wanted, if anything, I wanted it to work. Like, I wanted to have it with him. And I wanted him to change, and I wanted him to step up. And it just, nothing. And even me finding out, it was still him fighting with me and degrading me. And I just, like, it was the best decision for me, I felt like. And, I still think, like, to this day about it. And it's a really hard situation. Thank you. But
I feel like there's a lot of controversy that comes with talking about making that decision.
That's why I'm so scared. And I don't want anyone to judge me. And
I want you to know, though, like, throughout those 2 years, you weren't choosing you. And at the end of the day, I think by now you would have had the baby, and it just wouldn't have been healthy for you. It wouldn't have been healthy for the child. It wouldn't have been the way that it needed to be. And I don't judge you. And I hope that, I know putting it out there publicly, it's hard.
it is.
But you made a decision for you. Like it wouldn't have been good for the baby. You made a decision for you and that child. And I want you to know, like, I know, I can't imagine how hard, I don't know. And I don't know what that looks like, but I want you to know, like, no matter what, like, you made the right decision for you.
I know.
And in a moment where, in the last 2 years where you couldn't, like, you chose you, and that child would not have been loved the way that it deserved to have been loved. And I know that that's something you never wanted to do. And I don't even think there's even a world where I can say I'm sorry, because I don't know. I don't think, there's nothing I can say. I love you, and I know that was hard. And, like, honestly, like, even putting it out there, like, there's just no room to judge when no one's in your shoes.
Yeah, this is something, I've been thinking about. Like, I wanted to talk about this also because it is a huge part of my story. It's terrifying. I don't want anyone to know that about me. And before all of that, I told myself, like, that's something I would never, ever have to do. And as terrifying as it is to talk about it and make it public, I am happy that it's, off my chest. And, like, I just hope that, there are certain situations where I feel like women are trapped into these things. And, some people might not be able to realize it, and it's so sad that there are people out there that, you know, are in an abusive relationship, and, you know, they find out they're having a child and they think that the child will, you know, make them a better person. And like, I think maybe like there might be some cases out there, but for the most part, it's like I don't regret what I did. I don't know. It's hard. I don't even know like what to say about it. It makes me very anxious. No one knows like fully to the extent, obviously I'm explaining it, but like no one knows what I fucking dealt with for 2 whole years. Like, it was not living.
It was surviving.
I was surviving him. Like, I was just trying to keep my head above water, like, constantly. Like, I would have been a horrible mother. But, like, I was horrible to myself. Like, I know that I couldn't. You know, like, when you're horrible to yourself and you're horrible to, you know, like, I wasn't the best daughter. I wasn't the best friend. I wasn't good to myself. Like, I knew it would be a horrible situation in all aspects. So I just try to think of it in that way. I'm like, there would have been no
love to give.
No love to give, and nothing would be positive. It should be a happy moment. Like, finding something out like that, it should be so happy. And like,
the same thing with your wedding. Should have been
same
a
thing with
happy
my
day.
wedding. Yeah. So
Regardless, at the end of the day, like, you did what was best for you. You did what was best for the situation you were in, and I love you.
And I love you.
And
thank you for being there for like during that. Like, you have no idea. Like, I remember I had called Camilla, FaceTimed her, and I told her, and you were just like, McKinley, I'm so fucking sorry.
I still am.
I know. You were just like, you were like, even though you were like further away from the situation, you were always that anchor, like, for me. And I felt like, you know, like you said, like, you could see we're soul tied. Like, I know that. And like, you knew things before I could even say them. You, like, by the look on my face, you would know how I felt about a certain situation or whatever. And like, I just know that you felt, you know, everything I felt, you would feel as well. And like, that was something I was definitely lacking, you know, in my relationship. And with all the isolation, you were the only person closely associated. I had no friends in Florida. I didn't have anybody to lean on that wasn't associated with him, except for you and Owen. And I just want, like, I want to tell you too, like, when I would see you guys, like, it was like, I would feel so happy, and like, I needed it so bad. I would always say, like, they literally feel like it's like my safe place, like, both of them. And you know, Jack would bring me around you guys like every now and then, and I felt like every time I saw you, it was just like, you know, you would see him or hear him say something, and then you'd be like, how was your relationship? And I would explain it, and it was never good. But you gave me like good advice. Like, if you know, you
I think the one thing I always told you, I was like, when you're done, call me. Like, I think it's hard because, like, I'm the type of friend, like, I ride so hard, and I think I get a little too emotional, and I almost want to, like, go up to bat for you because I know you. I know you're not confrontational. And so for someone to come up and just fuck with you, like, it fucks with me. You know, and I understand that, you know, I'm young, I'm still learning, and there are things that I shouldn't say, and, you know, like, I just want to almost, like, fuck somebody up if they fuck with you. So it's like, when you tell me things about your relationship, I would listen and I would hear you, but I would feel it because I knew, like, I know you. You're such a light. Like, and the one thing I'm so looking forward to is to watch your career evolve that people can see you for you and not this painted picture of Jack Doherty's girlfriend. Like, you didn't get to choose that. It was chosen for you.
Yeah.
And so, like, I saw this light. I've always seen this light in you. And, like, I knew that your mind and your heart were completely different. Like, you knew, and we would connect mentally on the fact that I told you, like, please leave.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here. Please, you can stay with me. You're like, I don't have a place to go. I'm like, live with me. I'll whatever you need. Like, I'm there. Like, just leave. And I think Michelle would even be like, Camilla, like, don't even waste your breath. Like, I don't even get in the middle of it because we all work together. And, like, at the time, like, I still worked with Jack, but, like,
yeah.
I knew your heart had to be done.
Yeah. I had to come to terms with it.
You get what I'm saying? And, like, I knew that. But, like, just know, like, I wasn't ignoring you. Like, I felt it. And, like, the one person that watched me feel it was Owen. Like, I would sit and watch these streams, and I literally didn't know what to do. Like, there were times where I would be like, do I get in the car? Do I go? Like, there were times where your parents would call me. And I was like, I don't know what to do. They didn't know what to do. And it was almost like, in that moment, like, we kind of felt helpless, but I knew, like, I had so much faith. I'm like, bro, like, I know one fucking day, like, it's going to be done.
Yeah.
And, like, when I got that phone call where you decided to not keep the baby, like, I just remember, like, I even was like, I know you lost a part of yourself that day. Like, and I remember I was in the middle of, like, literally starting the Bop House, and, like, I was like on the water, and I sat there, and I was like, I said the words to myself. I was like, I swear to God, like, when she's done, I'm done.
Yeah.
And I got in the car that day with Owen, and I go, I don't think I even told him. I literally just look at him, and he was driving home from the Bop House, and I was like, if he ever puts his hands on her and I find out, I was like, I will never speak to him again. Like, and I said, and I hope that you, as a man with dating someone that you truly love, that you can recognize that, and you will never talk to him again as well. Mm-hmm. And he looked me in the face. He goes, I swear to God. He goes, we're both done. So, like, I didn't even know he had at this point.
Right.
But, like, it was just the thought in my head. Like, I knew that's something you never wanted to do. So the reason you did it had to have been something must have happened.
Right. He ended up coming to Vegas after me texting him and saying I felt so alone because he said he was busy. He said that he couldn't come to Vegas, and I was just like, I need you. Like, this was something already so traumatic that I was going through, and obviously, like, he was a part of it too. So I was like, I need you here. So he ended up making the trip from Utah to Vegas. He stayed with me for a few days, and it was probably the best few days I've ever had with Jack. Like, I had seen, a really, really good side of him, and, I knew that he knew what I was going through, and, I think that's why he was treating me with so much kindness, because it was, a rough time for the both of us. But I, ended up going to my appointment, and he was there at the appointment in the beginning, and I went through it, and I woke up and he was gone. He was already on his way back to Florida because he had a stream planned. So I was alone dealing with, what had just happened by myself. I'm not with, my person. And that's when I called you. Like, that was, that same day. I just needed somebody, that I could talk to and just, be somebody that I could lean on. And that was you in that moment. The only person I could think of even talking to about it was you. So he gets back to Florida. He's streaming, doing what he usually does. And I come back to Florida for Christmas, and we spent Christmas together. It was definitely heavier on me because my parents at this point were not supportive of my relationship with him. They did not trust him. They did not want me to be around him. They were worried for my safety. They were worried about everything you could possibly think of, especially as a parent, having a child going through something like that. Like, there's only so much you can say and do. And I know how lost they felt. And hopeless. I know that they felt that feeling. But I ended up going back, and the disrespect just got worse and worse, and him starting random fights with me got worse and worse. I can't even remember what the fights would be about, but it would just end with him, calling me useless. Like everything that, he would say to me before everything happened with the child and all that stuff, he fell back into his old ways extremely, extremely fast. And he told me that he really wanted to buy a house together, because I had told him, I was like, the only way that like I would, I want to start a family if we buy a house, if we take that new step into our life. But also at the same time, I wasn't financially where I wanted to be. A lot of people don't know this, but his main income is OnlyFans. I didn't know that meeting him in the beginning. I felt like, I knew he did social media. I didn't know he made a lot of money from OnlyFans. But of course, when I'm, involved in it and I'm making the money and I am seeing how much I am making and how much he was taking, I needed to pay my taxes. I wanted to buy a car for myself. That was something that I wasn't ready for. I wasn't ready to buy a house. So I told him, I was like, listen, like I'm all for you buying a house, because he had, the funds to do it. But as far as me, like I was looking at my dream car I'd always wanted at this time. My dream car is a Mercedes Maybach. I always had them saved on Pinterest. I was looking at them constantly every day, and I was just like, I want one so bad. But Jack just didn't want me to buy a car. Like that was some of our biggest fights, was me saying that I wanted a car. He didn't want me to have one. Still to this day, I don't know why that offended him so bad. I think it was obviously just the control that he wanted over me, and not having a way of transportation, to go to your house if I wanted to, or if I wanted to go to the mall or anything, he wanted me to stay home. So I told him this. I was like, I have to pay my taxes. I have to, I want to buy my car. He told me that the car was a stupid financial decision, even though he owns, 4 cars and all these watches and all this jewelry. And I was like, for the one thing, I just want to be proud of one thing. I want a car. He still didn't want me to do it. He was mad at the fact that I even brought it up. So I ended up talking to my dad and saying, hey, I really, really want this car. And it was in Vegas, which was where my parents lived. And I was like, I want you to go look at it. Like, can you and mom go and look at the car and just see if it's like nice inside? Try to get a good deal on it. They end up going, and I told Jack this, and Jack was furious. He was like, the fact that you would go to your dad over this and not me, like your dad is an idiot. He can't make deals. Like he's gonna give you a bad deal. And I was like, my dad's got it. Like he's at the dealership right now. I got a good deal on my car. And anytime I would have went to Jack about anything about me wanting a car, he didn't want to. Like I tried to go to him first for the help, and I wanted him to try to find me a car, but he didn't want to. So going to my dad and him actually doing it for me, I was like, this is something I really want, and I don't care what you have to say. I'm doing it. So that same day I bought my car, Jack and I had a joint bank account. We shared a bank account. He would, take the money from OnlyFans, put it into this joint bank account, and take his cut of money. But when I went into my account, I realized that all my money was gone before I even could wire the money from my car.
The day you were buying your
car? The day I was buying my car, I went into that bank account, which was where I was gonna use that money to buy my car, and I looked at it and it was all gone. And I was like, what? Like I was so confused. Thank goodness I had money in my other accounts because I was making YouTube money. So I was able to wire the money for the car. But he took that money from me and put it into the house. And
how much?
I'm trying to think how much it was. I want to say $300,000. He stole from me.
Did you say, where's the money? Did you say, like, hey, like, I have to wire for my fucking car. Where's the fucking money?
I said that, and he said that we're buying a house. He never asked me if it was okay. Whenever I said, I don't think that's what I want to do, I don't want to do that, him and his dad would come to me and say how good it's going to be financially. It's going to be a good investment. Even though my name,
Is your name on the house?
No. He just took the money.
So when was he planning on giving this foresaid money back to you?
He wasn't planning on doing it.
When you buy a house, you put money into it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you sell the house, you obviously sell it with the intention of making more than you paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
When were you ever going to make more? What is a good investment if you never get your money back?
That's what I'm saying, and I tried to explain that to him, and
what was the excuse?
It just was, take it how it is. I already did it. You know, it wasn't. He never asked me for permission. He never asked me if he could do certain things. He just kind of did, and you know, he knew that he was able to get away with it, and it made me sick. I was like, you know what? Now I can't pay my fucking taxes. Now I can't. You know, the money that he took was actually like, you know, a good chunk of tax money.
Yeah.
So I was upset, but I knew, I was like, you know what? The good thing about all of this is that I bought myself a car. Like, I'm so excited for the car. And that's something that he can't take away from me, is my car. And it's something I'm proud of. And it's something that, you know, people can also see I am successful, and I'm not this gold digger that makes no money, and that, you know, I use Jack for his money, which is, you know, the narrative he tried to push, when in reality, the way he was making his money was from me. I'm like, finally, maybe I can get some validation from him even to see like my success. Like, I have something physical that I can, you know, I can be proud of. He would always tell me that cars aren't my brand. I don't need a car. I'm a woman. I'll just crash it because I'm a woman. Very like, you know, misogynistic things that he would say. He would always make those types of comments about how women can't drive, and I was like, I don't know what you mean by that, because I drove literally my entire, like, when I was 16 years old and got my license, I was driving every day to school. I was driving everywhere, and it wasn't until Florida I stopped driving, and it was because I didn't have a car. So I was like, the reason why you don't think I can drive is because I've never have in front of you. But like, I used to drive. I used to be very independent, and I started to.
You don't need to defend the fact that your boyfriend made a fucking misogynistic ass comment by saying women can't drive.
Yeah. So I got the car. It ended up coming, and I want to insert the clip.
$210,000, guys, she paid for this Maybach. Insane.
Sorry, it's just so good.
No, I mean, say sorry to yourself. Honestly.
I'm not sorry.
I'm kidding. No, it's an accomplishment.
Guys, look at Jack's driveway, and he tells me that a car doesn't matter.
You don't ever compare yourself to other people out here, okay? Because hear me out. Just because I say look at this person, look at that person, doesn't mean be like that person, you know? It's like, be smart with your money. I have the car, so you don't have to, you know?
But I want.
I know.
I know.
We're not arguing about it. You bought the car, but I was always advising her not to waste her money on cars. I'm like, I already did all that, and it's like a waste of money, and you just lose his money or you crash it, and it's bad. And she's a woman, so don't even get me started. It's like, how many rims are we gonna go through in a year on this car? It's like, it's gonna add up.
He ruined that day for me. It was one of the worst days ever. He was horrible and so negative throughout the entire thing, saying that I made a bad financial decision. You know, he was saying rude comments about how, again, I'm a woman. What am I going to do? Use this car to go cheat on him? And I'm just like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what? This happy day for me was fully ruined. I was filming a YouTube video for my YouTube, and I was trying to, you know, make it an exciting video, and he was just ruining everything and, you know, making it so negative, and it really bothered me. So I told him to leave the car. I was like, just leave me alone. And I cried. The first hour of me having the car, not even, I was bawling my eyes out in the front seat. And I didn't enjoy it. And my parents texted me because they were watching live. They wanted to see my reaction. And they were just like, I wish you had people like that. We're just like proud of you. And they were like, I wish you had people to celebrate with you. And I hate that you don't have anybody to celebrate this happy moment. But I invited Michelle over. She was not living at the house at the time, and everyone was, super excited to see the car and so proud of me. And the only person that said nothing was him. I don't know. I didn't know why he acted that way when, he bought people cars. He bought a lot of the girls' cars. He was very supportive of you and Owen buying cars. It wasn't a bad investment for you. I mean, a car is like, you buy them and then obviously they can depreciate or whatever. Yeah. But it's like, I wanted one car for myself and he couldn't even be happy for that. So, that same night, we end up going to the club, and I was drinking. Everyone
What is up with him in the fucking club?
No, he loves the club. He loves the club, and the whole time he would be in these clubs, it wasn't just for him to have fun, but he was just looking for girls to sign. And I think that's the shittiest part of all this is that I soon realized the game and the manipulation to all of this is like it wasn't he didn't love me and was interested in me. He was just wanting me to be a part of his business. And I knew once he had that control over me and knew that I was there and like he held romantic leverage over me. If I was there and I dealt with him cheating on me constantly in front of my face, always disrespecting me. We weren't sharing a bed. I didn't have the girlfriend label. I wouldn't have stayed. But it's the fact that he used me being his girlfriend and us dating. He used that as leverage to get away with the control. And because he wasn't able to do it without that. I would not have been in that situation if we were not dating. And I wouldn't have been just some random girl that he signs and that is just around. Like that would have never happened with me. So he obviously used that to his advantage. And as he's actively looking for new girls to sign and telling me how easily replaceable I am, I'm just so confused because I'm like, you used my money for the house you just bought. Even the cut that I get, the small portion of money that I get that's actually mine, you're still cutting into that and using that amount of money when I hardly have anything and you're taking everything from me. And I'm like, how can someone call me useless? And I ruin their life, but I make them money. And I'm giving them so much. Not only am I giving them, all this money, but I'm also giving them, the satisfaction of, taking my self-confidence away, making me cry. It wasn't a healthy situation in itself. So for him to act like that, take my money, and still act like this, I'm like, how do you not see it from my point of view? But I go to the club. He's obviously flirting with girls like how he always does, saying really mean things to me on camera, ignoring me. I was trying to talk to him for that entire night, and he just was like upset. I don't know. He was in a mood that entire day I got that car. He was just in a horrible mood and was so negative towards me. And I will also insert a clip of me that night. I was really, really sad. I remember saying, I feel like an idiot around you. Like, you've been negative to me all day. It'll play right now.
I'm fine.
Like, nothing happened. I'm not mad at you.
I think all day.
But I have not. No, you're just like, I have not, McKinley. I'm just live streaming.
Okay, it's fine.
It's not like, I'm not like acting towards
I know,
any way
it's
towards
whatever,
you.
you're trolling, whatever.
I'm not even trolling you.
care.
I don't even know what made you like start crying. I didn't
This
stop
is so
you.
negative of me
I have
all day.
not.
I just feel like an idiot around you.
No. Stop.
All of this happened because, it was the entire day of him making me feel like shit. But then once the stream ended and after this clip happened, we go home and I'm thinking, everything's fine because as you can see in the clip, he's apologizing and saying everything's okay, nothing is wrong. I go back home and he's so furious at me. He's cursing at me, calling me a whore. Apparently, there was a situation, I was crying because of something he had said to me, and I was standing at a wall outside of the club, and he was right across from me, and apparently some guy had came up to me and asked me if I was okay because I was crying and by myself. Jack still has his eyes on me, and he's watching this happen. But as soon as this guy asks if I'm okay, the guys step in and apparently start like beating his ass because of him coming up to me and talking to me.
Who steps in?
His friends.
Jack's friends?
Jack's friends. I don't know what's going on. I'm so confused. I was just crying. I just want to go home. I told Jack I'm over this. I want to go home. So in that moment, I didn't think anything was wrong with this guy coming up to me and saying, "Are you okay?" And then his friends taking care of the situation. I didn't know that he was upset.
Wait, why did they beat his ass?
I don't know. Apparently, they took it as he was coming up to me and flirting with me, I guess. No one was next to me when it happened.
I just want to say, though, even if this guy went up to you and said, "You are absolutely beautiful," and walked away, he did not deserve to get his ass beat.
Right, yeah.
What? Especially out of fucking nowhere. Like,
yeah, I felt like he was just being nice because I was crying and by myself.
Obviously.
Yeah.
That's insane. So
we go back home, and basically he calls me disgusting. He was like, "You're fucking disgusting." And I went into the office, the other room, and I was laying in that bed because he told me to get the fuck out. He was disgusted in me. I was a disgusting person because I made him look like a cuck. And I was like, I truly, like, I don't know what to even tell you because I didn't do anything. Like, I'll FaceTime everybody. Everyone was with me. Everyone watched it happen. I'm on the phone with his friends. I'm on the phone with Michelle. I'm saying, "Can you please explain to Jack, like, what happened? Like, this guy wasn't, like, up on me, like, kissing me or anything." Apparently, Jack had heard that he was leaned up against the wall with me. And when he heard that he was leaned up against the wall, he assumed it was some, like, he was leaned up and, like, we were together and talking, when it absolutely wasn't that at all. And that's what people were trying to explain to him. But he had this narrative in his head that, like, that's what had happened because his cameraman said that's what happened. His cameraman said she was leaned up on some wall with a random dude. So I had anxiety. I
promise the guy does not get paid enough to say stupid shit. Like
No.
There's no way there's no shot that you are getting paid enough to simply lie so that I'm gonna be honest, there's a common denominator here of Jack and his cameraman.
No, yeah.
It just seems like it's a constant in every story you're telling. It's like, sorry, I just had.
No, yeah, I know. Well, this night, it was, he was screaming at me so loud that everybody and their mother in the house, like Issa and the cameraman, they came out and they were literally like front row watching us go back and forth. And him saying these horrible things, calling me a whore, and like how he should have never given me a chance again.
He's yelling this.
He's yelling this, yeah.
But there's people, Issa, and they were downstairs?
Yeah, they were upstairs. They walked upstairs where we were, and they were literally sitting at the table just like watching like this happen. I don't know why. It started out like just with us, and then like I realized that they were sitting down and like watching the whole thing. And what really ticked him off and made him upset, was me saying, if I'm so fucking useless, then why did you take my money for the house? I said, why did you steal my money? Why did you take my money? And he was like, you stupid fucking slut. He was like, I don't give a fuck. We're done, you crazy ass bitch. He was like, I will never do anything for you ever again. I'll replace you fucking tomorrow. I need some more bad bitches up in here. Like, saying the worst things to me possible. And in that moment, I want to talk about how I felt leading up to this moment, because I can't explain everything that I went through every day, but it was an everyday constant battle. And this night with him going, like, saying all these things to me.
Is this the same night you bought your car?
This is same day I bought my car. I remember saying, I'm just gonna myself. And I don't know why I said that. I don't know why that came over me, but in that moment, that's all I felt like doing. I was like, there's no other feeling that I've ever felt in my entire life. How I feel right now with everything that has happened to me. I just want to fucking die. Like I had no hope. And I walked out of the room and I go into the office. I lock the door and I'm laying down and I'm hearing him. He's like banging on the door because I had just said that, and I was at the toilet about to throw up. I was drinking, and I wasn't going to do anything to myself. I realized that as soon as I said it, I was like, it's not worth it. It's not fucking worth it.
I think you said it yet again. You don't need to defend yourself. I love you, and there's a reason you went through everything. There's a reason you said that. Like, he made you feel like nothing, right? So in that moment, this is my take on it, you wanted to say anything you could to make him feel something. Like, he just keeps shooting and just keeps gunning at you and just shot after shot after shot after shot, just keep pounding you with just negativity and things to just tear you down. Like, you wanted to say something for the shock factor, bitch. Like, fuck. Like, of course, in that moment, you felt that. What else would someone's telling you you're worthless, you're useless. There's no, like, in your head that there's no point in then. Like, there's a reason as to why you said it. You didn't just say it because you wanted to, like, say it for fun. Like,
right, yeah.
You wanted to make him feel something, but also let him know that everything that he had said to you, it's exactly how he was portraying you to feel, that you didn't deserve to then.
Yeah. And it's exactly how I felt. And before I knew it, I was in the same room as paramedics, and he had called the ambulance because he thought I had taken something. I kept saying, I was like, I didn't take anything. I'm okay. They still took me, and they were asking me certain things like, what happened? Why did this happen? Are you okay? Do you want him around you? Like, I was like, I'm okay. I didn't take anything. I just feel really broken right now. Like, that's just how I feel. They took me to the hospital. I was by myself, and I get there, and Jack ends up coming in. They asked me before he came into the room, they were like, do you want him in here? Because we can send him out. Like, I already told him there's no filming, there's none of that. And I was like, yeah, he's fine, whatever. He walks in, the first thing he does is just laugh.
What?
Yeah.
What's funny?
Nothing. Literally, like, nothing. And
What?
when I heard him laugh, I was just like, there's no hope. Like, it's constant validation, like, of how I've been feeling, and he didn't give a fuck. And especially in, like, the horrible moments, like me getting robbed, and, like, me, as his girlfriend, like, feeling that way. Like, I would feel like shit if my significant other felt the need to say that. Like, I'd be like, wow, like, I really need to change something about myself for them to react this way, But it was all just a joke to him, and I was just...
How did you go home that night? What happened?
The security guard picked us up, and I left. I went back home. I went straight to bed. I was exhausted. It was like probably 4 or 5 a.m. It was bright outside when I got back home. And, Issa and Michael, they were all downstairs, and Issa was in tears. She's like, I love you so much. Like, I've been so worried about you. And I was like, I'm good. Like, I'm fine. I wasn't at all. But again, like, I can't explain it to anybody, and I couldn't at the time, especially. I didn't know, in that moment, I'm still dating him. I can't imagine, again, a future without him. even though I'm dealing with all this stuff, I just was trying to navigate it and understand it for myself. I couldn't explain it to other people. And I also didn't want to look crazy, and I felt crazy, especially, I go in an ambulance, the paramedics have me on a stretcher. Like I felt crazy.
That's what I wanted you to feel.
I know. That next day he was really upset at me.
What?
Yeah. He said I did that for attention. And I was like, I want you to know, like, that I did not do that for attention. I was like, if, I felt like that in that fucking moment, Jack. And, like, I just want you to know, like, what you say fucking hurts. And what you say to me, like, matters. Like, the only person I look for, like, validation from is you. And, like, you don't give that to me. Like, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to feel? It was awful. And, he started ignoring me. That whole entire day, he hardly talked to me. I felt like an idiot. I felt stupid for even saying something like that. Even though that, again, like, that's how I felt. I really felt stupid. He made me feel stupid. Again, it's invalidation of my feelings always. It was always me the problem, even though, I was taking everything he said to me that night, not saying anything. And then, me reacting that way was a problem, not what started it. It was never, like, what started the problem. But, that happened, and then he has another stream. This was kind of, I guess, the lead up to our breakup. This is within the same week, by the way. Me getting my car was in the same week of us breaking up. I was at a hair appointment, and he took advantage of that day that I was there and said, well, now that you are at a hair appointment, I'm going to go to the club because now I can raise up some bitches.
Where's the just kidding?
He wasn't kidding. He did that the entire time I was there. I was, like, watching it.
Is there clips of that?
Yeah.
Oh, McKinley's calling me. Hello?
But I went to get my hair done this day, and he went to the club, and I was watching the entire thing, and I remember my hairstylist was like, who do you think is more, are you more jealous or is he more jealous? And I was like, I don't even know at this point. Like, I'm not even watching this because I'm jealous. I'm just watching this because my whole entire life was him, and I watched everything he did. And to see him flirting with other girls without me there, I was just like, it's normal to me at this point. I didn't feel jealous. I was just like, you know what, this is how it is. I kind of felt like, after everything we had been through, like, maybe that is what he wants to be happy, is to just be single and living his life and, like, wanting to do that, and it's more fun for him. So I let him have it. I was like, whatever. My hair was done. I texted him. I said, hey, I can meet you at the club if you're still there. And he told me, I think you should just go home. And I was like, well, I mean, I just got my hair done. Like, I want to see you if you're still there. Like, I don't just want to go home by myself. So I told him, I was like, I'm already on my way. He told me he was leaving, and he was with a group of girls the entire time. And my friend Michelle, she lives in the same area as, like, that club. And I had asked her, I was like, hey, I think Jack is leaving the club. Can I come over? Because I didn't want to just go home. He was still streaming, and I didn't want to be around that. So I ended up going to her house, and her boyfriend were there, and her boyfriend was Jack's manager. So we all worked together. There's no need to be, jealous or confused as to why I'm there. Like, I thought it was very normal for me to be there. But Jack was upset about it. He didn't want me to be there. He wanted me to meet him and come home. But he was still at the club. So I didn't understand that. they asked me if I wanted to go get some food. We end up going to like this outdoor like bar / grill type of thing. We had a few drinks. I ordered food, and Jack is just nonstop texting me. Like, I want to read it. So I told him, I said, we're getting drinks at Marina Village. He said, L. He said, why are you going to a bar without me during spring break? Like, what the fuck? And mind you, he is literally at like he is at a club talking to girls actively during spring break. And I said, I promise this isn't a bar. I'm just with Michelle and it's food. I will come home soon. Please don't be mad at me. It's not a club at all. I said, babe, are you mad at me? Can you answer, please? And he said, duh, I'm mad my girlfriend's at a bar alone drinking on a Friday night during spring break. I don't know why you think I'm okay with that. If you want to drink and have fun with Michelle, do it at her place. You don't need to go out in public without me to drink at a bar to make me look dumb. Just talk to me when you get home. I said, why are you mad at me? I said, bro, why are you mad at me? Jack, hello? He said, I'm not texting with you over this. And I said, Jack. He said, I don't want to talk to you. You're drunk. Leave me alone, please. I said, why are you like this? He said, valid reason for me to be mad at my girlfriend for going to a bar without me in the middle of spring break to drink. Like, when has that ever been okay in our relationship? You're setting me up to make me look dumb as fuck. You have no respect for me. Stop calling me. I said, WTF, you were at when I had my hair appointment. It was around the same time, so you were at and I decided to meet up with Michelle and hang with her. Ended up coming to, I'm at her place. When have you ever gone, he said, when have you ever gone to a bar without me to get drunk? Never. So why is it all of a sudden okay? Especially in the middle of spring break. Like, bro, what are you doing? I said, Jack, I promise it's not a bar. I was with Michelle and the entire time. Please love me. And then he said, doesn't matter. There's a million people down here for spring break and everyone knows who the fuck we are. It makes me look so stupid if someone takes a video of you out getting drunk at a bar without me. Like, what the fuck are you thinking? He told me I don't want to be on speaker and talk to everyone in the room. I said, I'm by myself. He said, I can't even trust talking to you anymore because you're always making our business everyone else's. This is why, you know, I told what was going on because I felt like he was acting crazy. You know, here I am like sitting, eating with people that he should trust and works with and like his own good friend. Like, I would never do something not like, why would I be unloyal to him in this situation? Why would I go out of my way and, you know, make him look bad during this? Like, I was truly just having fun and like being with friends, and that was the first time I had actually done something without him, which is crazy to think. Like, over that whole 2-year span, that was the first day I left and did something without him, and that was just hang out with my friends who he knew, and we're also his employees. So I felt like I wasn't doing anything wrong. Again, he was at Rock Bar the entire time, at a club, actively flirting with girls and drinking. So I was just like, I don't know, the double standard is crazy. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So I end up going home. I go to bed. I drank a little bit, but I went to bed. It was late. I woke up. And that next day, he was furious with me. Like, to the point of, like, I actually thought that he was, again, like, trying to break up with me, calling me a whore, talking about my body count and how I'm a disgusting slut, worthless, useless human being. I'm a bitch. I'm a drunk, just extremely, like, degrading things. And I distanced myself again. I stayed in the other room. I was laying down, and he came into the room as I was laying down, and he was trying to hug me. I was like, maybe he's not upset at me anymore. At this point, I'm begging him to not be mad at me. Like, that's all I wanted. I was like, please, just, like, I don't know what I can do. I won't do that again. I just want you to, like, also have trust in me to go and have lunch and food with your friends, and my friends. So he comes in the room. He acts like everything's okay, and he asked me if I could give him head. And
Wait, what?
no, yeah, he was, after degrading
You were fighting.
me.
Wait, so after he called you a whore and a slut,
Yeah,
you went where?
into the office, like the other spare bedroom.
Okay, and then out of nowhere,
He walks in.
he's like, yo. I know, let's not address the fact that I just crashed the fuck out on you, but can you give me head?
Yeah.
He looked you in the face.
Yeah. Yeah. And in that moment, I thought everything was okay. And that was kind of why it was like, I'm okay, well, maybe this is, you know, as sad as it is, I guess, like, his way of saying everything's okay. Like, we're good. I end up doing it. And as soon as, you know, it's over, he gets up and gets on his phone and leaves the room. And I was like, okay, well, that felt like shit. Like, that was weird. And I leave the room, I go into the bedroom, and he was laying in the other bed, in our bedroom. And I was like, hey, and he was ignoring me fully again. I was like, yo, like, what happened? He's like, nothing. And then I was like, are you good? Like, I just sucked your dick. And then he was like, well, yeah, I don't give a fuck. I wanted my dick sucked. He's like, I'm still pissed. Yeah. So it all started again. It was, he made up with me to do that. And that was something, you know, if, even though he was my boyfriend, there were times I didn't want to do certain things, and then he would be upset at me for not doing it. And
he can suck my fucking dick. I don't give a damn if he's your boyfriend. I don't give a fuck if you've been married for 30 years. If you don't want to do something, you don't have to. And he can go burn in fucking hell if he wants his dick sucked. Tell the cameraman to go fucking suck it.
it's true, yeah. I know.
That is fucking disgusting. He is fucking...
Yeah. And there's a lot about that. I just feel like whenever I was on my period, that was his week of getting head. And, like, I needed to do that every day, even if I felt like shit. And, you know, if I didn't want to do something at a certain point, it was like I kind of had to, because he would say, you know, if I'm not willing to do that, he would go find it somewhere else. And what's the point of, like, you know, being with me if I'm not able to give and, you know, give him what he needs.
I can't.
But the period thing was, like, a huge thing. Like, he didn't care at all if I felt like shit. You know, that's something a man, like, doesn't understand, like, how it feels to, like, be on your period. But it's like, you don't really have... I didn't want to do that when I was on my period. I felt like shit. My stomach would hurt, and I would still have to work, and I would still have to, you know, get up and, like, do things and, you know, be there whenever he needed it to be and not get sleep. And I don't know, I've so many things, but yeah, that was something he would fake make up with me to get what he wanted, and it was really upsetting. I felt very
what happened
used.
right after that? Right after he was like, I just wanted my dick sucked.
He told me that I'm becoming extremely lazy and I needed to step it up, or else he's gonna go out and find another better bitch. Okay. I have made him a horrible person. He's lazy now. He's not making as much money. I've made him into this lazy, unhealthy person. Mm-hmm. Basically projecting everything onto me. What he did to me, he was saying that I was, you know, I was the cause of, like, the way he was treating me. Like, he treated me this way because I was so lazy and I didn't want to work. And in my head, I'm like, every living day of my life, I am working. And working means, you know, waking up and filming, you know, videos until nighttime, and then he'll stream. So, like, constantly, like, I'm on camera and, like, doing these things. And I did that every day for 2 years of my life until it became almost impossible. There was a really important period of time, I feel like, for a month or two, where even my filmer was asking me, like, are you okay? Because I couldn't get myself to do anything. I was so exhausted. I didn't want to leave bed. He would fight with me constantly at night, exhaust me at night, and then sleep peacefully and soundly while I'm bawling my eyes out, crying, begging him to just talk to me or like or help me and validate me, reassure me, anything. So while I would stay up all night, like constantly battling these things, I wouldn't get good sleep. So I probably was lazier. I was depressed. I couldn't leave bed. I didn't want to wear makeup. I was so skinny. I would wear sweatpants and hoodies. I hated everything about myself. I didn't even want to be on camera. So he told me, you know, this can't be happening. I'm extremely lazy. So he told me I needed to wake up at 8 a.m. the next day. And we came to that agreement. He said, if you don't do that, I'm fucking breaking up with you. So we come to that agreement. I said, okay, I will be up at 8 a.m. I'm going to have a big filming day. We're going to get a lot done. I go to bed. Again, we're still bringing things up. So I didn't get good sleep. I had major anxiety. I couldn't go to sleep. And I also knew, you know, I had to wake up tomorrow. And
Why 8 a.m.?
I don't even know.
Oh, just 'cause? Okay.
Yeah. So
And there was nothing planned?
no,
Okay.
nothing planned. Even for him, like
Just
he
trying
didn't
to
have
figure out
anything
the fucking
planned.
logic. So,
Right.
Okay.
Let me know when you figure it out.
No,
too.
I just lost.
So
I'm trying to find the just kidding in the room. So,
it's not, yeah.
yeah.
So we come to that
So
agreement.
you napped.
Yeah, I fell asleep. I got a few hours of sleep, and I woke up. My alarm went off, and I looked over. He was still sleeping. I was exhausted. I decided to sleep a little bit longer and ended up waking around 10 a.m. He was also awake, and, you know, I was on my phone about to get my day started. I was fully, you know, down to like film videos and all that stuff. I just kind of felt, you know, you can film a video at any time of the day, and I was just waking up, and so was he. So I didn't think anything of it until he was the one to bring up the fact, you know, it's do you see what time it is?
Really make my life harder. I'm sorry. It's like I have to carry you through life, and it's like you're my girlfriend. I have things I have to do every day. So you're supposed to help me through it. You used to be so helpful with it. You used to make your own videos all day long, and I was able to do my own thing, help everyone else with their stuff. I have to just help me and you now. It's a me and you game now. It's a full-time job.
I want to do that though.
So why don't you do it? Like what's stopping you? I get my shit done every day. I post every day. I stream every day. I can't rely on you guys every day. That's why I do my own thing.
And
No good morning?
no good morning.
Oh, okay.
No, it was do you see what time it is? And I was like, yeah, I'm about to get up. I'm sorry. I didn't feel good. I was really tired. He was like, look at you. He's like, you can't even do basic fucking things like wake up at 8 a.m. He's like, I am who I am surrounding myself with, and it's you. And I'm turning into you, and it's horrible. You're a lazy, useless piece of shit. Like, literally, it went from 0 to a fucking 100. And I get up, I'm crying. I'm like, Jack, stop
It's
saying
10
these things to me.
a.m.,
It's
bro.
10 a.m. It's
How
10
are you
a.m.
crying at 10 a.m.? How can he do so? Like, how are you on go at 10 a.m.? Had he popped his Adderall yet?
No.
Oh, wow.
No. But you know, I think what stemmed the fight and like what made him so angry was what led up to that, and that was, you know, the day before that day was me and him getting angry at me for going to the place with Michelle and so that was another thing he brought back up, and what made it so much worse. Okay. It was like, see, you can't even do this fucking shit. He was like, you're a whore. Try to go find another guy that'll fuck with you. You have a fucking OnlyFans. Like, you're a piece of shit. Like, you're not all that. I'll find another bitch that'll make more money than you. Like, just saying things, tearing me down. And I remember all I said to him was, if I'm so fucking useless, then why do you take all my money? That's all I said. And that enraged him. He was furious. He stormed over to me. He was like, you stupid fucking slut. He's like, you're not grateful for shit. He was like, I should have never given you a fucking chance. And I'm brushing my teeth. I'm crying. There are tears coming down my face. And he comes right here, and he's like, you're a stupid fucking whore, you fucking whore, and he's spitting on me. He literally, I could feel the fucking spit come off of his mouth because of how close he was to my face, screaming in my ear. And he pushes me as hard as he can into the wall. And I caught myself in my arm, which I have a picture of the bruise from the day after. He pushes me, and I caught myself, and he told me, he was like, oh, you flopped. He's like, stop flopping. I was like, I did not flop. I said, don't you ever fucking put your hands on me, ever. And he was like, I didn't fucking put my hands on you, you flopped. He was like, I don't give a fuck, you flopped. So I walked outside to the outside balcony after that had happened, and I just remember I was on my phone. I think I had texted Michelle on Snapchat, and I was like, bro, like, I need to get the fuck out of here. But before I could even like do anything or text my parents, he had came outside, and he was like, you're just so annoying, like, to deal with. I'm trying so hard not to fucking punch you in the fucking face. I'm trying so fucking hard. It's taking everything in me not to fucking punch you in the fucking stupid face. And he's grabbing his fist. He's red as fuck. His eye, it was not the normal Jack I was so used to. It was so like completely different. And I was terrified in that moment. I was so scared. I didn't know if he was about to beat the shit out of me. We had guns. He would always make jokes and say, like, I'm like, should we just ourselves? Like, I'll just you, I'll me, like, just ourselves. I didn't know. He was so enraged. I didn't know what he was capable of. So I just knew I needed to leave the situation. I needed to get out. When he said that he wished he could punch me in the face, or like he was trying so hard not to, I told him, I was like, we're done. I'm done with you. I'm absolutely done. I walk outside to my car, and that's when I called my parents, and I was sobbing to them. I was like, Mom, Dad, like, I'm done. Like, he put his hands on me again. This has been so horrible. Like, he's not getting better. It's getting fucking worse. I didn't know what to do. And they're like, McKinley, we love you. Like, if you want to come to Vegas, like, come to Vegas. But I don't want you coming here and then thinking like, oh, I miss him. Like, I want to go back. Like, I want you to finally be done. They were like, I don't know what you need to do, but you should reach out to Camilla. That's what they told me. They're like, you need a friend, like, to be with you, because nothing we say, we've been saying it, and we just feel like you're going to go back. And it's so true. Like, every time I've been with them and we would get into horrible fights, I would go to run to my parents. I would always run to them, and they were there for me. And they would say certain things, but, like, you know, I know myself, and if I would have went to Vegas, I don't know the situation I would have been in, if I would have been wrapped back into it. But I texted you. I got off the phone with them, and I texted you, I love you. It was, like, all I wanted to say to you. I didn't want to explain anything else. I just wanted to say, like, I love you. And then I called you, and that's when you were involved in everything. And I was like, he did it. Like what you had said, like, when you told me, if he ever lays a fucking finger on you, like, let me know, like, it's done. And, like, I was like, he did it. And instantly, you're like, come to my house, like, we'll figure it out as we go. Like, you just need to get out of the situation. You just you told me to leave everything behind. I that's what I was worried about. I was like, I have so much stuff. But I just knew I needed to get out. I walked inside after I had gotten off the phone with you, and I grabbed a bag. I had to Instacart a suitcase because he had taken all my suitcases and put them in the new house he had bought. And I was just packing my bag. He was outside on the phone. I don't know who he was talking to at the time, but he was outside in the backyard. I could see him on the phone with somebody. And I was just quickly packing a bag, like, as fast as I possibly could, just trying to get out of the situation, because I've tried to leave many times. there's only so far and so many places I could go. Like when I would threaten to break up with him and we would get into these fights and I would be like, you know what, it's not worth it. I think we should break up. And he would grab onto me and make sure I didn't leave. And, and then he does these things where he'll grab me and then he'll start laughing and making jokes out of everything. When it's so serious, I have tears streaming down my face and then he's starting to laugh and trying to make it into a whole joke. And again, it's like me questioning my own reality. I'm like, it's serious. Like these things are so serious, but you make them into jokes and you mask it into jokes. But that's what he started to do. He walked in to the house after he was outside and he was like laughing and he was like, look at you. Like, why are you acting like this? Like, why do you have to do all this? And I was like, I wasn't saying anything. I was like, we are done. I'm done with this. Like you constantly degrade me. I don't know what else I can do. I was like, I want the best for me. At this point, I don't know if like it's even possible to fix this. He was still laughing and just I was silent as fuck. I don't even remember our last conversations. But I do remember I was like, you're going to realize one day how fucking useful I was to you and like how much I'm worth when I'm gone. Because I knew that I was done. I knew I was never seeing him ever again. He didn't know that. Like he was like, oh, whatever, like I'll see you in a week. I'll give you a few days and like you'll be back. And I was like, you don't even get it. You don't know. You have no idea. And I was like, you're going to realize like the people that care about you and truly care about you, like you're not going to have anyone next to you when you treat people like this, Jack. Like I saw it continuously. It wasn't just me. It was every person he had around. It was his employees. It was his cameramen. It was the girls. He was so horrible to these people. And I was like, these people are so supportive of you and they're there for you. And they give so much of themselves to you. Their life is your life, and you cannot continue to treat people like shit. I remember that was one of my last conversations with him was, you're going to realize how many fucking people care about you, and you're going to lose all of them. You are. And he was just, laughing about the whole situation again. Was not taking me seriously. I called the Uber. I left, and he went live on his channel talking about, our fight and, why we got into the fight.
What if she hooks up with another guy? Meanwhile, I will take the hundreds of thousands of dollars of shit that she has in my closet and her Maybach, and I will disintegrate that shit. I will fucking put dynamite, and I will blow it all fucking up. Everything. And I will blow up everything. Her fucking family doesn't even get a house. Fuck that shit. If she fucking ever even looks another guy in the eyes, cooked. Like, I'm kidding, I'm joking, obviously. But like, I would cook her shit. No, I'm kidding. But she knows better. She would never fucking do that shit.
At this point, he was under the impression I was going to Vegas because that was what I had said. He had no idea that I was going to meet up with you. He didn't know. He thought I was on my way to my parents' house, which was, in his case, probably the best case scenario, because he knew when I would go back to my parents, I would, miss him and want to come back. So I met up with you. I told you everything, and that's, I guess, when you were involved in it. If you want to talk about anything. And
yeah, so I've always had like a really good intuition. I will say I pride myself on that. And the moment I like looked at my phone, I think I was doing my makeup, so I was gonna go film something, and it was a text from you, and I was like, okay, and I opened it. It was my Face ID, but you know how when your Face ID opens a text, and you don't have to like click the message. You said I love you, and I looked at Owen and I said something's wrong. I remember I said I really needed to hear that, and I was like, I love you more. I said, what happened? And then I got a phone call from your dad. And I think very few times in my life have I ever heard a grown-ass man cry like that. Like, he was like, I don't know what to do. And I said, Brad, and then your mom starts chiming in. He was like, I don't know what to do. I told her to call you. I was like, everyone needs to calm down. I was like, I can't panic. No one can panic right now. I was like, she's going to be safe. I was like, she's going to come here. She's going to be safe. I was like, right now, let's stop worrying about how she's going to leave, her shit, her car. I was like, nothing matters right now. I was like, all that matters is like where she's coming to see me. And so I get off the phone and you had just called me. Like you, and I didn't even know what happened yet. And he was kind of like spewing words at me, like they got into a fight and this, that, and the third. And I was like, okay. And then you call me and I'm like, and you're explaining, and I'm like, I don't care. Like, and I sent you the address, and I was like, just come to where I'm at. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm. So March 23rd is when I left him. He said, I know you hate me, but I still love you and always will. It breaks my heart fighting with you. I didn't mean anything I said. I just got mad. I'm sorry. But I think we need a few days apart so we can appreciate each other again and not make it worse. I didn't answer. He said, why can't you answer? And then he said, where are you? Can you please turn your location back on so I know you're okay?
That's number 2 when he realizes.
You said you would never do this to me. Just answer me, please.
He's getting angry.
Then he texted me that night and he said, good night. I'm sorry about everything that happened today. I wish I could take back everything that was said. I love you. Please call me tomorrow. I didn't answer that. And then this was March 24th. The reason for the huge blow up, because a lot of you are probably wondering, like, okay, if he was acting this way, how did it become even worse? He changed my passwords on my OnlyFans account, which, you know, that was like, okay, he's trying to take my account from me.
Well, exactly. Like,
right.
In the moment, I think I was there for that. Like,
yeah.
When we were having a conversation about, I don't even know. I was like, well, what are you going to do with your OnlyFans?
Yeah.
And she was like, well, let me look. And then the second she pulled out her phone, her passwords wouldn't work.
I couldn't log in.
Naturally, we both panicked and we're like, fuck, what do we do?
Yeah.
So we immediately switched all the passwords, like immediate. Like, I don't even think there was like a 5-minute period. Like,
it wasn't.
We completely changed the email associated, the bank, the passwords. And obviously, because in her mind, it was like, I'm fucked. Like,
yeah.
Everything in the balance is going to be gone if I don't go and switch it. So then this is where everything really started.
He said, I changed your OnlyFans password on both your accounts, just so you know. And he said, if you don't answer, your OnlyFans account is going to get shut down. It's an emergency. Why the fuck are you ignoring me, McKinley? I'm so fucking stressed out. I don't know what's happening and you're ignoring me. By the way, this is after I decided to change my password, so he was logged out of my account.
Yeah, this is when he, like, I think found out, like,
I changed the passwords
she changed
back.
the password.
He said, wow, you're insane. I see what you're doing. This is probably your plan all along, you fake ass bitch. Use me to get where you want, then dip. You're the fakest bitch ever. Holy fuck. You fucked up big time. We're done. And then I said, I'll come get my stuff tonight. He said, nah, fuck that. I'm throwing it all away. Haha, fuck you, bitch. Crazy ass, fake ass bitch. Insane. All this started because I wanted you to wake up earlier. Ungrateful, greedy, lazy ass bitch. Can't believe I even dated such a fake ass bitch. I should have known better. I'm throwing your shit outside right now. You're evil as fuck. I can't stop thinking about how much I've done for you these past 2 years and how fucking quickly you just run off, change passwords, emails, everything. You're crazy. And you've obviously been planning this behind my back for a minute. Disgusting. I can't believe I let such a fake person into my life only to just fuck me over and stab me in the back. It's sad and unbelievable. Crazy that the first thing you do is change your password and email to your OnlyFans. Mind you, he was the one
to
that
changed
that.
it, so our automatic response was, fuck, we're fucked. Like, in my mind, this is how my opinion of it, like, he changed it so that you would have to text him.
Right.
Like,
he never has done that before. And
he's
I
never
left.
in his life done that. Like, even when I was working with him, like, he would never just be like, yo, change your password. Like, well, he didn't have that kind of.
Right.
But anyways, he did that as a form of control. So anyways.
Yeah.
Continue.
He said, just shows how fucking fake and in it for the money you were. You lost my trust completely. What a waste of 2 years for me, but you got what you wanted, obviously. That's why you didn't want to put any of your money into the house, because you've been planning this all along. Answer me or I'm gonna destroy your car next, bitch. I hate you so much. You're evil and you're a fucking liar too. Everyone's shocked that you did that. No one's on your side for fucking me over, stupid. I can't believe the only girl I ever loved turned on me for fucking money. Evil. I don't even know who you are anymore. Your shit's outside. I'm done with you. Come get your car off my property before I seriously destroy that shit. Even my mom is shocked that you did that. Greedy, fake-ass bitch. You're never coming back here. I'm never taking you back. I can't trust you ever again. Everyone says you've changed. Deleted all my Instagram pictures with your fake ass. Come get your stuff, please, so I can finally be done with you if this is how you want to do it. I've done more for you than I've done for anyone on this planet, and this is how I get treated. You just ignore me. It's so sad how you're not even trying to talk to me, McKinley. I loved you more than I ever loved anyone, and this hurts me so bad. How is my own girlfriend doing this to me? You're trying to make me go fucking insane and crash out. So this is all happening. He's calling me between these texts, spam calling my phone. Me, Camilla, and Julia were on our way to that house to get my stuff and to, get all my things from the property. But we left before he started, saying all these crazy things.
Yeah, exactly.
I realized that I needed police to be there, and I didn't call the police on Jack. I called them to be there on standby and to just make sure everything was done peacefully, because I knew how he was, and I knew the last time I saw him was very awful. He had threatened to punch me in the face. He pushed me, gave me a bruise. He's known for not letting me leave. If I had tried to even pack my things and I didn't have someone around me, he would have just grabbed me. I didn't want it to escalate at all, so I decided to call the police. I was terrified to do that. But, I did it, and I was like, I just would like an escort. I want you guys to be there on standby in case anything happens, and so it can go smoothly. Also, I wanted to mention he had my social security number, birth certificate, passport, all in a safe. And I didn't know the password to the safe, and he had a camera towards the safe. So I felt like I had so much stuff I needed to get from the house that were so important. And there was no possible way I could have been able to get that on my own. There's no way. So the police get there. Obviously,
and that's when you guys see the body cam footage.
The body cam footage, which was,
I do want to say, I think in his mind, he thinks that I'm the one that, y'all will find out real quickly. He thinks I'm the one that, schemed all of this. And anyways, I knew what would have happened if he saw me and Julia pull up with McKinley to get her shit. He's not scared of me in a sense of an overpower. He's not he would have probably just cussed us all out and probably actually not let us leave. He would have told me to get the fuck off his property, and he probably would have called the cops on us and for trespassing, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? She asked me and Julia to be there. She was like, can you just be there? And I was like, I don't think that's a good idea. So we had a mutual friend that he didn't know. And I think that that's the part where you guys see in the body cam footage, McKinley was with a friend of ours. And me and Julia are in the cut. We went up the block and we parked the car. And when we saw the cops, I was like, look, it's the house down there. I was just trying to get them to McKinley so that she could get her shit safely. And then that's when you see everything transpire.
Are you for real, McKinley? Yo, who is this, though? I need to know.
Hey, bud. Hey, bud.
Because you're not fucking answering me. I can't believe Yes, you wouldn't answer me. You called the cops before you fucking talked to your girlfriend? Are you kidding me? How the fuck are you doing that? That's it, bro. That's all I did.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I did. I just wanted to talk to you. That's it. Then just talk to me. You wouldn't answer me, bro. Are you fucking kidding me?
He obviously sees the cops, he's like, who the fuck is that girl?
Yeah.
He's never seen her
So
before, but that was
confused.
part of the play. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I love the most is that, yet again, he thinks he's so unpredictable, but I knew what would have happened. Like, so we all agreed, like, okay, let's think of someone that he genuinely doesn't know that we all know, and we figured it out. So then you can say what happened when you crossed the gate.
No, yeah. So, obviously the body cam footage was released, but sadly, I am trying my absolute hardest to get the full body cam footage because there were a lot of things that happened to me that night while the police were there that were horrible. And I honestly, speaking for myself, I didn't feel like they were really that much of a help. I think that he obviously held himself back, and it would have been a lot worse. I can't imagine how it would have been if that's how he acted with the cops. You guys can see it for yourself. He was extremely disrespectful to the cops, telling the cops to get the fuck out of his house. They would give him orders to not be next to me, and he would say, fuck that, you're in my house. And they did nothing. And I just like, I thought that was quite insane. Yeah.
Completely off, like, that's completely insane. And the police department, what is it, Broward Police Department? The Davie Police Department?
Davie,
The
yeah.
Davie Police Department definitely needs to train their fucking officers
Yeah.
on how to handle an escort for a situation like this where there's someone who has a history of shoving and putting their hands, regardless of if it's not a full punch, restraining a woman. Like,
Especially in front of them. Yeah.
she is in the process of trying to get the body cam footage for the inside of the house where you say, like, he did push you.
He pushed me in front of the cops. He took my phone from me and hid it. He was grabbing onto me from behind, hugging me, trying his absolute best. I don't even know what his goal was, with putting his hands on me and pulling me. But that's, he did that in front of the police, and the police didn't really care to do anything.
You have the blurred version.
I do, and I want to put that up for you guys, and also just point out, certain moments, because I can see what's going on in the police body cam, even the blurred version of it. There's certain things you can see him putting his hands on me, and the police standing right there in front and not doing anything, and me having to get away from him and just trying. I remember that moment. I blacked out so much because I was just set on, I need to get my stuff and I need to get the hell up out of here. He's in my face. He's this close to me, talking to me. It was the hardest thing I had to do. Yeah.
I do want to add before we go over this footage, prior to the body cam footage that you guys have seen on the internet being leaked, Jack had zero idea that I was involved. He had called me and Owen multiple times to see if McKinley was staying with us, and he had drove to our place we were living at the time. It was a complex. He had drove to the complex we were living at because I think someone said that they had seen her car. I now know who the person was that told Jack that she was staying there. So Jack had no idea that she was staying with us, and me and Owen made it very clear we had no idea where she was. Obviously, why would I tell him where she was? And yeah, I just want to add that. So when the body cam footage got leaked and it's just me and Julia standing our happy asses or not even happy asses, standing our asses outside in our fucking pajamas, and we're the first face you see, like, it was definitely a shock for him when he saw that. So whenever you find the footage, we can go over that. But I just wanted to add, like, he had zero idea that we were involved, and that was, like, the whole point.
So this is obviously the redacted version. I'm still in progress of getting, like, the whole entire body cam footage, but this is when I was grabbing my stuff from a different room, a separate room. He was FaceTiming people that worked with him, my friend Michelle, and
Wait, you can see him, like, hold up the phone right here.
yeah.
Where is it?
Oh, I think it was over.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, so You go into her room.
I go into her room. I'm getting the stuff out of my closet, and here you can see him. He's putting his phone up into my face, saying like, "Look at what she's doing." Like, and then they basically said like, "Don't involve me in this." They had no idea what was going on.
You see him like put up the phone, like, "Look at what she's doing," and like filming you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had a camera out the entire time. His security guard was also filming a different angle, which is why I have some of the footage from inside of that house because he posted it. I mean, you see.
Yeah, you can see him right there, and you're like, you leave the room.
He's still right up on me. Again,
he's like following you.
Yeah, I mean, the police, I was hoping, the police would.
The police didn't do anything. They're like standing there like I think it's because of they didn't see him as a threat.
That's the thing. They
like,
don't.
Look, he's like right on you.
Yeah.
He's following you into the closet. Look, he's holding you here. He's like, McKinley, dude.
Yeah, and he's still there following me. And all of this time, he's just, I don't remember exactly what he's saying to me, but it's just like, him coming at me and confused about the situation, trying to talk to me. He would, what I noticed with him is that he would be really, really angry, but then he'd be like, McKinley, what's wrong with you? Like, please, what's wrong? And like, like switch up his vibe completely and trying to like, I don't even know, like this even, like, look,
Oh yeah, he's like yelling at the officer. And he grabs you. He literally he was holding you right here.
Yeah.
He's holding you.
Yeah.
He's holding you. What the fuck are the cops there for?
No
Honestly,
idea.
Genuinely, shame on you, Davy fucking police.
Honestly, yeah.
You guys need to go under some serious training. It doesn't matter what the fuck the person looks like. If in your eyes they don't deem to be a threat, it doesn't mean that they're not a threat or have never been a threat.
Yeah.
In that scenario, Jack should have never even have been this close to her, nor have ever touched her. So you guys can see it here. If we ever do get the footage, know that, I mean, obviously she'll post it or whatnot.
Yeah.
As you can see, he's the person in the green shorts.
But he did go, he posted his angle because, like I said, I don't have like all of the footage, but I do have some of the footage from inside because his security guard was filming him.
Slow down so I can be with you.
You gotta get out of my house. I didn't say you can come in.
She's letting us in.
She doesn't own this house. I didn't say you can come in my house.
Her address is
I don't
on
care.
here. She's a resident here.
I don't care. You guys aren't allowed in my house.
We're not here to have a hard
You guys
time.
aren't allowed in my house. I'm sorry.
She lives here.
Who gave you?
She did.
She doesn't own this house. Just because she lives doesn't mean she gave permission to.
Stop acting like this.
Bro, you called the cops on me in my own fucking house after I've done everything for you.
And again, I also think his security guard is absolutely 100% an enabler. From what I've seen, I just think that, him being a security guard,
He's on his payroll.
and
Everyone on his payroll is going to just...
right. So he had his phone out, he was recording, and I have some of that footage. He went out of his way. I didn't want any of this online. Like, I did not want any of this online, and that's why when I saw the body cam footage on TikTok, I had a panic attack because I'm like, I'm not ready to talk about anything. This is going crazy. Like, people know what's going on.
I do want to add too, though, like the reason the body cam footage got leaked was because the night that it happened, he went live and he recorded it and posted it.
Right.
So people cross-referenced it in the system, knew the night it happened, knew what kind of time, you could guess kind of what time, well, it's live, so you know what time it is. People know what county he lives in, so it's like, at the time, it was just easy to find. So if he didn't go and blast it, it would have probably not have come out as quick because no one would have known to look for it.
Exactly. He was the one that posted, I'm single now. He actually, as soon as I left, the first thing he did was post on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram Reels the footage from inside. So he was the one that did that, and then he quickly deleted it like soon after, but he was
Bothering me.
Thank you. But as soon as I left, he went live and he was saying the most horrendous
Insert clip
things. I just want you guys to hear what he said out of his own mouth. And just, and you let me know if this is somebody that, claims to love you and care about you. It's obviously not that.
That bitch better sleep with one eye open. What a fucking fake ass bitch, bro. You guys don't even realize, don't even know the full fucking story. That bitch fucked me the fuck over, bro. After, you guys have to realize how fucking lucky any bitch is to be my girlfriend in general. It's like there's no other fucking 20-year-old, 1-year-old trillionaire. No, I'm kidding. Not that matters. It has nothing to do with money. It's like the fact that I can fucking, no other bitch gets to live this life that she has. All she has to do is be grateful, positive, and appreciative. And that's all I fucking ask of her. She spends more of her days being fucking ungrateful, miserable, and fucking just in bed, bro. She sleeps all fucking day, dog. And how does she expect her life to get better? Exactly. It's like there's no other guy in the world that's gonna fucking treat her better than me. Because we didn't fight for 2 years. Our biggest fights ever were in the past 2 weeks. It's like that's normal. And now she's crashing out, breaking up with me, calling the cops. Like fuck that. Like I don't need to be with a girl. I never wanted to be in a relationship to begin with, bro. This bitch is ignoring me while she's out fucking changing her OnlyFans passwords to steal $500,000 a month. Like the fuck?
And the sad thing is, he wasn't upset that I left because he loves me, but he was just he was angry at the fact that I took my accounts with me, and that was like a major problem. And I was like, that is the least of my worries with you are my social media accounts. It's way deeper than my fucking passwords to my social media that you don't have access to anymore. But as soon as he went live and said all of the most disgusting and vile things he could possibly say about me, he started texting me and love bombing me and telling me things like, I'm so sorry. I fucked up. I want to also read the text messages that he had sent me that night that I had called the police, and just show you guys like the difference and, what he was saying to me when he was on live versus literally 10, 20 minutes after this live. He said, "Can we still talk, please, McKinley? I love you so much. I can't never speak to you again. You mean the world to me. It can't end like this. You know that. I just want to hug you again. I'm so sad right now. I feel like you never loved me. I just want to be with you again, McKinley. I plan on spending the rest of my life with you. I don't want to be with anyone else. I just wish you talked to me today so none of this happened. Can you please just say something? Please talk to me. I can't go to sleep without speaking to you at least one more time. Please just talk to me. I love you." And the reason I got so mad because I feel so fucking helpless, McKinley. I can't even talk to my own girlfriend no matter how hard I try. It's the worst feeling ever. I can't stop thinking about you, and it's making me go insane. Just please call me. I can't sleep until you do. So I was saying anything I can to make you come over so I can talk to you, because I wanted to talk to you so badly, but nothing was working. So I kept going further and further. I didn't mean to. I'm just so emotional right now. You don't understand. I have no one else but you. I'm all alone. And this was my response to Jack. After this, I said, "Where do I even start? Jack, I poured so much of myself into trying to help you grow, and what makes me so sad is you never noticed how hard I tried. I put your feelings above my own. I gave you my trust, and I stayed. I was so in love with you. For a very long time, I was terrified to lose you, and the thought of not having you by my side made me sick. I never imagined this moment, but I realized holding on to you was slowly killing me, and I ignored my own boundaries to make this work. I hope everything you continuously said to me and made me feel was truly how you felt. I can't look past that, but one day you'll remember the girl who loved you so much that she forgot how to love herself. You lost the girl who did everything for you and who was always there for you when no one else was. I stayed by your side even though you shot me down with your words. I stood by your side even though you didn't appreciate me. I stayed by your side and tried to understand you when I needed you and you weren't there for me. I hope you remember the times I stood by you even when things were falling apart. I would wait around for you and you treated me as if I was replaceable. The only thing I ever wanted was for you to love me but the same way I loved you. But I realized it didn't matter. You assumed I'd always be around and stick by your side like I always did. I spent so long questioning my worth, doubting who I was, but it was never me that was wrong. It was the situation that was wrong. I'm taking a step back after realizing how I kept letting you disrespect me when all I ever did was love you more than I loved myself. I'm going to start focusing on things that bring me peace instead of things that bring me pain. Maybe my absence will bring me the peace my love can never do for you. I'll insert, the rest of the things he was saying. I want to...
And you can pause and read it.
Yeah. He said, this is one thing I want to say. Okay, so he was texting me for, a little bit saying, you know, he couldn't live without me. He was so heartbroken. He just wants to call me and talk to me. So I ended up, this was a weak spot for me. I ended up calling him and answering his phone call. And it's not that I was, you know, I saw anything like changing and like how I felt about the whole situation, but I did know like how much it was bothering him, and I still had love for him. Even though he treated me like this, like for some fucking reason, I was like, I want to hear
You don't fall out of love
what
with
he has to
someone like
say.
that. Yeah.
You know, it's like I wasn't expecting all of this to happen. I wasn't expecting, you know, this to be the time that I'm like finally done with everything. And, you know, I decided to talk to him. And soon as I was talking to him, like he was very nice at first, but then it started to become a lot more, again, just angry and mad at me. And he asked me, he was like, well, just give me your OnlyFans password. That's all I ask. And I said, do not ask me that question. I'm not sending you anything. And he would crash out and say, why? He's like, this was your plan all along. Like, you used me. And then I hung up, crashed out.
I remember, yeah.
I hung up and he said, no, please don't do this. One more second, please. McKinley, I'm going to do something terrible to myself if you don't. Please, I can't. No way this is happening. Please, I'm begging you. McKinley, please, I'm about to drive down there. I'll be there in 10 minutes. Please don't do this to me. He said, dead ass about to take all my I don't give a fuck anymore. And you don't care enough about me to talk, so there's no point. I said, I'm going to call the police then. And he said, just call me, please, please. McKinley, please don't do this to me. Otherwise, I'm doing it. Fuck this shit. I can't live like this. I can't believe I'm doing this over a girl. I just loved you so much. One last call. If you don't answer, I'm done. When you tried to kill yourself last week, it was the scariest and worst day of my life. Now I feel the same way and you don't give a fuck. You never loved me. Oh my God, there's no way. And I said, you can't say that. I'm going to call the police. He said, just call me. That's all I ask. Don't make me myself. All you have to do is call me. Yeah, he said, please don't call the cops on me. After I got off the phone with him and I basically, you know, I told him, I was like, we're done. And I hung up the phone. He was, you know, threatening. And when I wasn't reacting to that and, you know, wasn't giving him what he wanted, he kind of flipped it. And he was like, when you try to do that, I cared, but like you don't. Which like I was worried about that, but I also knew, you know, like he's only saying that for me to go and see him.
He loves himself too much.
He does, and I knew that.
That's one thing I just kept telling you. I was like, he's not gonna. McKinley was like freaking out. She's like, is he gonna do it? I said, no, he's not.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, if you feel like he's going to do something like that, you need to call the police for his own safety.
Right.
Because you can't save him.
I know, yeah. Well, after this, he decided to just come down to where Camilla was living, which is where I was staying. Someone had told him, like what Camilla was saying, he knew where I was, but he didn't know the apartment I was in. He didn't know like exactly where I was, but he knew like the area. And at the time, we were renting a place at the SLS, which is like not super far from where I was at, and he was staying there in hopes that I would meet him there and talk to him. I told him that, you know, I would be down to meet up with him just for him to leave me alone. I was like, listen, Jack, we both need space. Regardless, if we talk, if we don't, I need you to just leave me alone and not talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. I was like, nothing will come out of that. That's good. Like, absolutely nothing, especially after everything that had happened, after everything that he had said. It wasn't even what I had been dealing with for the past 2 years, but on top of that, with what he said to me and about me online, dragging my name through the mud, as soon as I left with the police without even getting an opportunity to just like even talk to him without everyone knowing, I was like, there's no saving us, Jack. You fully.
Also, what do you expect to just come back from your girlfriend calling the cops on you? Like, that's embarrassing for your relationship in general.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she'll be back in a week, but fuck this fucking bitch. Da 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 da. It's like, bro, what? that just makes you look even worse. Like, why would you
does.
yourself post that?
I know. I don't know. He was apologizing. I kind of sent him like a clip that I had seen, and it was of him saying, you know, he's excited to be single. He was sick of fucking the same pussy, and he's excited to go get 1,000 bodies and all this stuff. Mind you, this is literally like 20 minutes before he starts texting me that he loves me and like doesn't want me to leave him. So anyways, I end up going to bed. We're talking here and there. I'm going to insert like all the screenshots so you guys can pause to read just the stuff that's kind of like in the middle of it. And again, I did have weak points where I was like, I do love you. Like I love you. I thought it was love. And in his mind, I don't think it was love. I think, you know, if, you know, I was a different person, he probably would have treated me the same way. I think he had love for me to like, I guess the extent of how he could love.
Yeah.
Like I don't think he's capable of it, but I don't know. I did have weak moments. But I ended up texting him, and I was just like, all I do is like try to hear him out, and it's always him and how he's feeling, and he needs me right now. But what he wasn't realizing was what I needed was to just be away. And I was like, I just wish you would take in consideration, like, in order to save anything, you have to like validate my feelings and just know that this is what I need in order to make anything work if you want it to.
Right.
I knew space and leaving each other and like just not seeing each other would help in all angles, and I felt like that was needed. He said, I didn't mean that at all. I say the stupidest shit ever when I'm mad. I regret saying that to you more than anything. Please don't feel like I wish I never dated you. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me. There's no other girl I want in my life besides you. You truly mean the world to me, and it hurts me so much knowing how bad I hurt you. I never meant to hurt you like this. All I ever want to do is to make you happy. I love seeing your smile on your face. You're the most beautiful girl in the world, and I don't want anyone else. You're my other half, and I can't live without you. And I said, I don't think you meant to hurt me, Jack. I just wish you took me more seriously. He said, I will take you more seriously. I'll stop making all my stupid jokes. I'll never call you a bad name, and I'll never hurt you again. I promise.
I'll never hurt you again.
Yeah.
But you flopped.
I flopped. Yeah, I
That's
knew.
just admission. He just admitted it. He was like, I'll never hurt you again. I know I did, but I'll never do it again. So you're admitting you did.
Yeah. You know, and people are in those situations, obviously, like me saying I flopped. It's like, that's him gaslighting me. It's like, I know what you just did. I can see it on my arm. You know, I even get in mindsets. I'm like, did it happen? I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
it did absolutely fucking
You start
happen.
to think, like,
you
am I
start
am
to
I
think,
am I
am I
crazy? Am I
overthinking
overthinking
it?
it? Did I just make that up? Yeah.
So, you know, we're talking back and forth again. My last text to him was him saying, hey, the maid told me your parents are coming by tomorrow to pick up your stuff. Do you think you can come with them so we can have one last conversation? I said, I'm not comfortable talking right now. He said, what do you mean not comfortable? We spent every day of the last 2 years together, and I'm just asking for a simple conversation for closure. This is so not you, McKinley. It's breaking my heart. I really loved and cared for you more than anyone on this planet. You're the only one that really saw that, because I never like to show my emotions to people, especially my loving side.
This is so not you. What? Submissive?
Right.
Like submitting to your false promises? Mm-hmm. Not running back. This is so not like you. Not running back to me when I cry wolf. Like, this is so not like you to not believe me. This is so not like you to not fall under my spell and into being controlled again. This is so not like you, McKinley. No, it's just that you never knew me.
Yeah. He never did. He never did.
I do want to add here, like, given that the first response when he did get the, like, police escort was to put a camera in her face and just humiliate her online, this is where, like, I guess we can segue into, like, the legal stuff. Like, if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
McKinley's parents were really worried about like him. Clearly he was showing that he was going to defame her online. He was going to show up to where she was allegedly at. Like, so we had a conversation where we were like, well, they brought it up to McKinley. Like, I think you need to get a restraining order on him just so he doesn't keep showing up to where you are and trying to talk to you and trying to put a camera in your face and look how fucking stupid she is, or look at her at the club, she's not heartbroken over me. Like, his actions are so predictable because it's like, it's happened before. He showed us he's gonna put a camera in your face. He showed us he's gonna show up to where you're at. He showed us he's gonna say crazy things to you. So it's like, the next step would be if we just decided to, not we, if you just decided to move on and never speak to him again. Like, he was going inevitably to try and show up to where you are.
Yeah.
So
I'm still dealing with that to this day, even with the restraining order, sadly.
Yeah.
So I am glad that I ended up doing that. It was very important.
I was there. I was like, you should do it. Like, I didn't force you to do it, but I really advised you to, because I know how much worse it could be when you're just trying to live your life and we're out and about and just pulls up, put a camera in your face. Like, that shouldn't be your healing journey. That shouldn't be a part of your healing journey, regardless of, now we are in the process. I say we because we're in it together.
For real. For real.
Like, I am your support system. Like, you have so many people that have your back, and like, we are currently dealing with it in court. And I think by the time you see this, like,
it's either granted,
the permanent restraining order is either granted or not. But regardless of that, I don't believe a judge dictates your story. I don't think, regardless of what one judge says, it doesn't dictate your truth.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
In the
I am
process,
at peace with it. I am.
Yeah, and I'm glad, and that's the biggest part. Is like, after the breakup, I think there were so, regardless of him like love bombing you and then the restraining order, like, there were so many things that happened. And one of the first things that happened, it's not funny, I just gotten back from a trip. Where were we at? Where did we go? Was that LA? We came back from a trip and we got a knock on the door. I don't know, regardless. I had just got back from a trip, and this was like, I'd say, New York. I would say McKinley stayed, let's backtrack. You stayed with me for like a week or two, maybe 2 weeks. Her parents flew down, and she ended up making her own decision and getting her own place. And it's a absolutely beautiful place, and something that you were proud of, which was such an amazing achievement. And I love your place. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
So her parents came down. She ended up moving out, and I don't know, I kind of liked having you there. It was like,
I loved it.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I could just go and like,
And we were like
take
spilling
naps
some
and-
tea. Like,
yeah, facts.
it
We had
was-
to debrief everything that happened.
Yeah, it was craziness.
So, in the midst of that, she got her own place. I ended up going to New York for the Met, and I came back like the same night, and it was like kind of late. I don't know. It was kind of late at night, and I get a knock on my door, and it's late as fuck. So I'm like, who? And mind you, every time someone was let up to our apartment, we would get a call, and we didn't get a call. So we open the door, and it's this guy, really just normal looking guy, like not in a uniform, nothing. Like maybe has like a badge, like I didn't even see it. He goes, he goes, is Camilla here? And Owen's like, yeah. And I'm like, I go over to the door, I'm like, hello? I'm like in my pajamas. And he's like, yeah, you've been served. Oh wait, can I see the video?
So I have this civil action summons for you that I have to serve you.
Wait, what is this?
Yeah, the information is here. That's the plaintiff, and then that's you, Camila.
Okay.
You have 20 calendar days to respond.
Okay, thank you.
And then the rest of the information is in there. You can read it. I'm sorry.
Thanks, bud. Appreciate it. Have a good one. It's not funny. It's really not funny.
No, it's just actually insane.
It's not funny. It's actually kind of, it's comically fucking insane.
No,
like,
it's
so
actually
fucking
insane.
funny, but not. I don't know. So we get a knock on the door, and this guy's like, yo, are you Camilla? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you have been served. And I think my exact words go, are you serious? And I'm like half laughing, half about to cry, because I'm like, I can't. Bro was not in uniform. If I
Right.
remember correctly, bro was not in uniform. And I go, oh, you're serious? He goes, yeah. Like, bro, smiling. Like, it was not for real. He's like, yeah, I just need you to sign here. I was like, wait a damn minute.
Yeah.
My first lawsuit? Stop.
You're like, for what?
I'm like, for what? Right. So, anyways, look at, he's happy as hell to be there. Cheesing like a motherfucker.
I'm sorry.
I shook his hand. He says, I'm sorry, walks away. So
Oh my gosh,
I'm
I'm
sitting there and I'm like, wait a damn fucking minute.
Yeah.
This is anyways, so I get this lawsuit and I'm like fucking staring at him like, wait, what's going on? Lo and behold, Jack Doherty sues me, right? And I can actually read you exactly what it was for, and this is where shit gets fucking nuts. Like, I am in just utter, I don't think I even called you first. All right. I don't have the original lawsuit, but he sued me. The lawsuit was for tortious interference. He basically had sued me for taking McKinley as his client. So you can even look up the lawsuit online. It has been dismissed as that is not what the fuck I did. Shout out Perry Law in New York, an amazing firm. He was suing me because he believed that the time he saw the body cam footage, in his mind he goes, oh, okay, Camilla did all of this.
Yeah, she's behind it. She's the reason why
She's
I left.
the reason McKinley left, because clearly Camilla wanted to manage her OnlyFans. This is the and he was like, now I get it. So he sued me. And it's hilarious because it just further, like, I don't think he understands how it further proves our point of how he views women.
Yeah.
And how he projected how he would react on me.
And it also goes to show what he thought of me. He thinks I'm too dumb and I'm not able to do this by myself.
100%. Like, he really belittled what he was like, my McKinley would never. Like, she's too stupid.
Right.
She's too fucking dumb to ever, like, which is disgusting. Like, I hope you know that that's not true.
No, yeah.
At all. So he basically sues me saying that I am now managing McKinley and taking her a percentage of her income, which is
not
fucking
true.
disgusting, because in a moment of such trauma and vulnerability, to know that that's something that he would have done is gross. It just further proves my point. You see her as a client. You saw her as a client, not as a girlfriend. You saw her as a money opportunity, not as an opportunity to fall in love and build an empire with the love of your life.
And that was from the beginning. It was all
So
that.
the lawsuit just goes to show, like, it proves everything in a way. Like, it proves exactly the way he thinks, and the people around him and the attorneys and that he's hired that enable his bullying, like a frivolous fucking lawsuit. Like, it's just a bullshit suit that I had to fight. And I wrote a very beautiful, or my attorneys wrote a very beautiful letter in which, I don't know if it's public record or not, but we sent the letter to his attorneys, and we never really got a response back. The only ever notice I ever got was from my attorneys let me know, like, hey, we sent the letter. It's a 30-page letter, fucking beautifully written. And we get a call like maybe 10 days later, and he filed for a motion to dismiss. So,
Right.
Easy win.
W.
W's in the chat.
There you go.
As you can see here, he didn't even bother letting his attorneys to let us know that the motion to dismiss has been placed or whatever. So that was an awkward, like, month of my life to kind of have to fight that. And then he did try and come after me for it's called the demand of arbitration, right? That was called, which is because I exited my business with him and I did my own business with Owen. He felt entitled to the money that I was making on my OnlyFans, given that I previously worked with him. So he was demanding, I think his demand was like $500,000. What was it? anyways, he demanded for a percentage of my OnlyFans back because he felt it was unjust the way that I left things. Mind you, I hadn't been working with him for like a year. So
no, you had your whole thing going by like the Bop House had no involvement in him.
So
like,
it made absolutely no sense. So he dismissed that as well. During this process of fighting the lawsuit and things like that, you received your demand of arbitration, and you were also fighting the restraining order currently.
Yes, ongoing.
Which, wishing you the best.
I appreciate
you have our support, and I love you so much. And
Thank you.
in the midst of all of this, I want to give you an opportunity to talk about kind of the new people involved.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a reason we've been so quiet, and this is that exact reason. We obviously are your best friends, like me, Julia, Andy, Owen, we're your best friends, and we see everything. So every time you hurt, we hurt. And I think that it's important to touch on the fact that even after the breakup, the bullying and harassing didn't stop.
Yeah, it got bad online, and with him, not as much, just because I do have that, pending restraining order on him, but his employees and the girls he works with just harassing me and bullying me online continuously, even after 6 months of me leaving the situation.
There are a lot of clips that I want to insert.
A lot.
So you can, really... Yeah, we're going to insert some clips here of just the most vile shit that these women who, in my opinion, are judging a situation off of one side, and I don't think it's fair for them to have an opinion on you or anything that you've ever...
I've never met them, so I don't know.
Insert the clips here of just the most disgusting things you've ever heard.
Who says I only been with him for a month? Maybe I was a side chick. Maybe he was cheating on McKinley with me. The world will never know. No, stop. Can't expose ourselves. Up on McKinley so quick, because she's a fake ass bitch, bro. She wants to lie about Jack, bro. How about you speak the fucking truth?
She also said that she had a restraining order on him. She claims false abuse.
I never went through because it's everything you said about me was cap.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly why it never went through.
Lied under oath. You lied under oath.
She literally seeks attention. This girl literally seeks attention. It's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing.
Yeah. I also would like to talk about the fact that, not even within a month of us, breaking up, he did find a new girlfriend for his online, I guess, persona. I don't know if it was anywhere close to what, him and I went through. I do believe there was a certain point in time where Jack and I did love each other, and it was good, and I fell in love with him. But I felt like it was, again, for him, just outside looking in and just knowing how he operates, I knew that whoever he had after was just kind of like a mess. Used as a placeholder, and also me leaving. Okay, it's very obvious. We have the same exact hair. He called her Timu McKinley.
I brought you to Dubai was because I wanted to ask you a really important question.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah. And she just got out of surgery, and she has another surgery tomorrow, so hey, stay tuned to see what happens.
And named her that. I was after everything that he had put me through, which is so serious, it's still a joke to you. And that, I had to deal with that, and all these things in my comments of this girl talking about me and not knowing who I am.
He would never treat me the way he treated that girl. She's a liar. She's a liar. She just, there's a lot of stuff that you guys don't know that we all know. So whatever she's saying on her little podcast, he made me do this.
You do OnlyFans.
You made me do OnlyFans. McKinley's not a liar. Yes, the she is. McKinley is a liar.
She did lie.
She did. Watch her podcast. She's a liar.
Chat saying that McKinley kissed Oblivion. I bet they're just trolling.
Oblivion kissed a hoe? Oh my god, that's a fucking shock.
I bet you if I see her in person, she would literally run the opposite direction.
She doesn't own this hairstyle. I'm sorry. She literally does not own this hairstyle.
Guys, drop a galaxy, please.
And him using the fact that we had the same hair to say, you know, McKinley 2.0 or, oh, like I found a new McKinley. Like it made me so uncomfortable.
Also, it's like you can't heal.
And I couldn't heal.
And I mean, it's
really,
like so many people, like,
yeah,
you know, the new girlfriend, and then like she paired up with people who also hated you, and it's like, okay, now it's Christy and Claire against you, and it's like at some point though, it's like let her go, like let her heal. But I also want to insert clips here too on the repetitive cycle that he also puts Christy through.
Yo, stop. Hey, stop. Yo, stop. What's she doing? Oh, just close. Dude, look how they... She doesn't me after I spent a ban on her. Let's go.
Because you're being rude. Like I'm.
Chrissy, Jack told me this shit whack. Hey, McKinney shit was better.
That's definitely cap.
That's why he didn't want your ass. Your ass got kicked to the curb.
Oh my God, Chrissy let me first night on this boat right here. Thank you. I'm kidding.
Oh my God, wait, that was a crazy call.
I'm left with a baby in my stomach.
Whoa, you better pause on that. So that's time 2 hit, so you can't get pregnant again.
No, you were very nice and respectful in the beginning. We did dinners. You held the doors open. We still leave the doors sometimes.
That's what I'm saying. You're about to fall for it again, bro. Another guy's gotta be like, oh, you think I'm so disrespectful, and then another guy meets you, like, he's so nice because he just wants to hit. Like, that's it. Oh God. We all are. You meet up, then you meet the real us after you've tapped enough. We're ready for the next. Why is she crying?
Yeah, it looks familiar.
Everything is just so oddly familiar, and that's something that I also called. I literally told you, did I not?
You did. You're like, you're like, it's very predictable. I know what he's gonna do. When you break up and he realizes it's over, he's going to move on, try to get you jealous with a new girl. He's gonna do all these things that he did like with you in the beginning, and then it's all gonna but it'll be faster. You told me it would be faster. It wouldn't be as like a slow burn, like 2 years of us dating. It wasn't that. It was very,
I told you
very
that. I was
quick.
like, it's gonna be like literally a month of just fucking chaos. Like, like super fast romance, and you're gonna watch him like the Clippers clip them falling in love, and it's like, I know it hurt. I know that hurt.
Absolutely.
I know, like, but that's meant, like, if you didn't hurt, you'd be weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I think it just shows exactly the intention behind why he brought in Christy. And I'm gonna be very honest with you. I feel awful. I feel awful for this girl. Like, I don't think she even knows the full capacity of how she's being treated and how it's so similar to what, not the extent, but like in the beginning of, there's a clip of her, she's like, you were so sweet in the beginning, Jack. Like, you took me to dinners and you opened the door for me. And I literally watched that in my throat. Like, I got a lump in my throat, and I was like, fuck. Like, I really hope that she gets out before it gets any worse. Before the financial dominance, before all of that. Because at the end of the day, the people who are just doing all the talking and all the chirping, like, they want to be heard the most.
Yeah.
Like, these people are just seeking to be validated by him. They're bullying you because they want to make him laugh. They want to make him like, oh yeah, get her. Like, yeah,
right,
like, yeah. Like, she's on my side. There's loyalty. There's loyalty. There's loyalty. And it's like, I don't think these girls truly feel that way. Like, I know what they've said about you, and I know I've seen it, but it's like, I don't think they truly even know what they're saying, and I don't think they truly, I think they might feel hurt. I think Claire specifically might feel hurt that, like, you left so abruptly, and like it was such a sudden break, and I think she feels hurt by the fact that you guys probably weren't as close of friends, but you couldn't even be a friend to yourself, let alone a friend to anyone else, let alone a friend, you know what I'm saying? So I think her way of showing you she's hurt is, fuck McKinley. McKinley was never a good friend to me. She's this, she's that. But I think it gets to a point where I think she took it like a little too far. And like,
she did. And now it's like, she kind of just hates me to hate me. But I do know that she's not happy. And if, you know, you're watching this right now, and I'll talk directly to you, I think, you know, the conversations you would have with me about how unhappy you are in this situation and how much he makes you feel like shit and mistreats you, degrades you, disrespects you on camera, you can get out of it. And I never in a million years like want anyone to go through that ever, even if you have a negative opinion on me, if you think I was a bad friend, you always bring up, she brings up all the time that I texted her and Michelle about apologizing about being a bad friend. But what she's not talking about is when I said that, I said, I'm so sorry I haven't been a good friend to you because of what I'm dealing with and what I'm going through. How can I be a good daughter? How can I be a good friend? How can I be good to myself when I'm dealing with such horrible things? Like, I wasn't an amazing friend. I couldn't just go hang out and go to the mall with her. That's kind of what I was talking about. But like, there was never any bad blood with any of those people. It was just like they decided to take this stand when I wasn't ready to talk about it with anybody, and I guess I don't want her to feel like she's, in this situation forever. You might think that there's no way to get out of a situation. You feel stuck, but I know how you felt when you would talk to me, and I stand by that. I know that's how she feels deep down. So that's why I don't take anything she says personally, because I know it's not true. I know that she's dealing with a lot of shit and she's still involved in it.
Yeah.
She's still involved in it.
Just the way you guys show it is differently. Like, she's, you know what I mean? Like,
but
hurt people.
They do. And they talked about, really hard things. About the whole pregnancy thing, and insert that clip as well.
This clip that is about to play, actually let it play right now.
Isn't she pregnant? Probably.
I mean, I know something about that. Let me not talk. Should I talk about, if we want to talk about pregnancies?
Wait, I know something. Milkmaid told me.
Yeah. What happened? That girl's nothing on me. No, we are not friends with McKinley Richardson. Should I say it, guys? Should we talk about pregnancies?
This clip is so fucked up.
I know.
Like,
I was a mess for days.
For that to be a joke, for it to be a laughing matter is that is disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
And since they won't do it, I am so sorry. And I know I've apologized. I am so unbelievably sorry that these two women don't understand how fucked that can be to a woman. How it completely changes the brain, like your brain chemistry when you go through something like that. It's not a fucking joke.
It's not, yeah.
Like, that clip right there, absolutely just, that broke my heart, like, as your friend. Like, that I was like, what in the fucking hell do you have to, how hurt do you have to be inside to say that on live?
Yeah, I know.
To out someone's very personal trauma?
Yeah.
And I find a little, it's fucked up, but almost ironic in this situation. Like, when Logan and Claire were dating, Jack also exploited the trauma that Claire went through and Logan went through for abuse.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think that it just also shows a repetitive cycle of, like, the streaming, and anyone that was in a relationship or anything that could have went south, it was turn the cameras on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So
every time it was always.
Claire, you've dealt with it before. You know how it feels, and it just sucks to see you do it to someone else. But
yeah, I also do want to talk about his family and like the
oh please, yeah,
horrible text messages I received from his mother. I know that his one major thing that I feel like I wanted to add, and why I stayed in this situation too, is it wasn't just dealing with him, but his enabling family. They constantly would talk to me about how I bring out the best in Jack. They've never seen him act this way. They love seeing his manly side. They would always text me, and I'll insert a few screenshots that his dad had sent me, just trying to get Jack off of the Adderall. That was something they were very, very worried about. They would also come to me and be like, I know Jack is this way, but like, trust me, like he's an amazing guy, like good heart. So that was another reason why I had stayed. But when I broke up with him, I got really bad text messages from his mom. His family has been through the craziest shit. It's not a healthy household. It never was a healthy household, from what I was told by all parties. Like the mom and the dad and Jack even would talk to me about certain things. But I got a text message on April 2nd. Trigger warning. It's just like disgusting. I can't even believe a human being could like possibly say these things to somebody. She said, "I'm against abortions. How could you kill the baby in your body? You're sick. I was your age and I'm poor, not having any money like you, and brought my daughter into this world. You're disgusting. Trust me, I will bring you to the world who you are. And you're going to go down. You killed that life. You killed life. That's a crime. You always want to be a whore. You always want to be. You're a fucking you're a piece of shit. Fucking to kill the baby." And I said, "Why are you saying these things to me?" She said, "Because you killed the life in your body. I don't respect people like that. I was your age, 24, with no money, and brought my daughter to our life. Jack treats you like gold. I see all the TikToks. You're always drunk when you fight with him. Trust me, I will go after you. No one will disrespect my son. How could you call the police and say Jack is violent? How could you? You're an unstable, sick person. Trust me, I will get you down." Maybe he said on a text message, "I'm going to smash your car. I'm going to punch you in the face." He was upset, and I don't blame him to say that. Whatever you've done to him, I will protect him from now on. And trust me, if you get closer to Jack, I'll arrest you. I said, "Please stop texting me." And he said, "You got that?" She said, "You got that 100%. So I just want you all to know, like, that is the woman that he came from, a disgusting human. And throughout the entire relationship, I tried to take care of her because I would witness her chugging alcohol in our house. And I know that was a huge problem for her, and why I felt for the whole family also, because I knew what he had came from. And those text messages are just so fucking nasty. Like, I couldn't believe that came out of a grown woman's mouth, especially a woman. So, again, it's I'm not just dealing with Jack. I'm dealing with his enablers. I'm dealing with his family members, the people that he works with. It's been hard. I'm 6 months. It's been 6 months since I broke up with him. I'm still healing. I'm in therapy. I'm learning a lot about myself. And things that I never knew about myself either, and like why I was put in this situation. I'm just trying to, obviously this will never happen to me ever again, but I just trying to understand like why I was able, to, put myself in this situation, why I was able to see at all times like the positive in things when it was so bad. Like, I'm trying to figure those things out, and it's a work in progress. Like, I'm still not fully healed. It'll take a while, but this is like my first step and into closure and healing is just talking about it. And it means the world to me that, I'm able to, and like you gave me this opportunity, Camilla. I don't know what the fuck I would do without you, bitch. Like I love you. Truly, you were my savior, like in a time I like needed it. And it sounds so dramatic, but it's just like, I've never felt that low in my fucking life. Like my self-confidence was gone. I was insecure about everything. I felt like shit constantly, but you were like the only fucking person I could see, and just like you'd make everything feel like it went away. And I don't know, like you and I, like you said, like we would see each other from time to time, but that's how you always were for me. No matter if I knew what you were doing yesterday or last week, like I was like, I just felt that connection towards you, and words can't describe. Like, I know God works in mysterious ways, and I just remember meeting you for the very first time and just loving you and talking to you about our futures and saying like, I'm so excited for your future. I'm so excited to like see how everything plays out. I feel like you and I were in both situations where like we were still trying to figure life out, like at that age especially. And just looking back and seeing how things have played out, I couldn't be more happy with how it ended. But yeah, I love you so much.
I love you. I want you to know, like, you saved yourself. I want you to know, like, a lot of women, unfortunately, it breaks my heart. And, like, I obviously have, like, my own story, but, like, I'm just not ready to, it's been years, and I'm not ready to share it. But, like, I'm so unbelievably proud of you, and I don't think you hear that enough. Like, I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of the way it takes a strong-ass woman to go up against someone, especially on social media. It takes someone who's resilient and determined and confident. Like, I want you to know, he didn't take that from you. He just dimmed you, but it never went away. Yeah. You are incredibly bright. You have such a beautiful soul. You inspire so many people that you don't even know. You inspire me. You are so strong. And regardless of what the judge says, I know this is going to release after the court date, but, like, regardless of what that judge says, like, she or he does not define you, and it does not define your truth, and it doesn't define the woman you're going to be, and it doesn't define what happened to you. She cannot tell you, or he cannot tell you, what did and did not happen to you. You are so strong, and so many women don't make it out. They don't.
I know.
They don't. And that just goes to show, like, that is the reason. Like, I want to not make a single dollar off of this episode. I am not going to monetize off of someone's trauma. I've never wanted to monetize off of your story. It is your story to tell. And from the beginning, like, I said that. It is not my story to tell. It is your story to tell. And this is not your end. This is barely even your beginning. I can't express how much I love you and how proud I am, because, like I said, so many women don't make it out alive, or they just settle. And it breaks my heart.
I know. No, I was almost there. I love you
so much.
And you're so strong.
Thanks.
And I think, people go through, like, you went through something, and you may have not gotten, justice or talked about it on a platform, but you going through that, you were so fucking strong, and you helped me. And I feel like, things happen, and, like, we're now able to, like, have a platform and talk about these things and hopefully save a lot of women's lives. And hopefully you can realize, the abuse, if it's happening, and, like, you're confused, and, like, you're in a very confused state, and you can, find similarities in my story, and just realize you're not alone, and you deserve you deserve so much better than what you're, the cards you're being dealt. I knew that, I know my worth, and I knew my worth, but it was so eroded over time, and it happened just like that. You don't even realize it's happening, and you don't know it's happening until, you see people saying, like, you're not you've changed, like, you don't look the same, you're not the same. And I'm just happy that I am growing into the person that a stronger version of myself before Jack. I was a version of myself before him, and now I am getting back to that version, but just so much stronger. And he didn't weaken me. He tried, and I'm so thankful that I am out of it. And life has only gotten so much brighter. I'm not gonna lie, like, the day that I left, I even felt like the weight just lifted off of me, and I just felt free. I felt lighter, and there's so much more to life. I'm now realizing, like, I'm having so much fun traveling the world with you and Julia and Andy, and just, living out my early 20s and not, being in a situation like that. I'm so thankful. And I'm so thankful for everyone that has been so supportive of me too. Like, thank you guys for showing your support without knowing my side of the story. Like, that means the fucking world to me. The overwhelming amount of support that I was shown, I couldn't even log onto my phone and go on social media that whole week. But when I did go on my phone, and I realized how many people were there for me, and so many women were like, wow, you inspired me to leave my abusive boyfriend. Like, this reminds me of my situation. Like, I would read everyone's comment, and I was just like, wow, like, this did do good. Like, it wasn't just saving me, it was saving a lot of people. And I just can't thank you guys enough. And I love you guys so much for being there and being behind me. And I'm very happy and glad to share my story with you guys, and hopefully if anyone needs it, they can hear it. And that's what I'm happy about. I'm very, very happy.
I'm happy you're happy.
I'm happy.
I like seeing you happy. I like this side of you. No more crying.
I know.
I love you.
I love you.
Well, guys, we've waited by the time you see this, we've waited a lot longer. What, 7 months, 8 months?
7 months.
7 months.
Yeah.
It's 7 months to tell her story. I ask you to be patient, be open-minded, keep an open heart when you're listening to this story. I do want to end this in kind of a funny way. I do have my predictions on how I think this is going to end for us.
Yeah, sadly.
I do believe I would like to call and that Jack Doherty will be suing either me or McKinley. I think it's funny. I think if I add this in here and then they go check the county's website and if there's a lawsuit.
Right. Yeah.
Banger LLC.
Yeah.
I think it's funny. It's not funny, but I'm just saying it's a prediction because I predict.
He's predictable.
It's a thing. It's a thing. Yeah, look out to see if he's going to sue us. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, McKinley, for coming. I love you.
Thank you
so
for
strong.
having me.
I love you.
I love you so much.
Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to click the link when you see it and donate if you can. Donate what you can, what is in your heart to give. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching.
I hope you're miserable until you're dead.